Test 1, 2, 3. There we go. We got audio. Right. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, return to streaming. What's going on? Hey, everyone. Oh, I gotta set my camera up. It's not... The clock's actually not blinking in real life. Like, this thing, it's not blinking like crazy like that. I gotta set my camera up to capture it properly. I'll just move in front of it for now. Yeah, that's super annoying. I'm probably gonna go unplug that thing. But no, I have to set up my camera. The aperture, I believe it's aperture that would aperture, right? Like ISO or aperture, one of those two things. I think like maybe ISO would change that. If I turned up my ISO right now. Okay, should we try? Okay, let's try. Yeah, but if I start touching my camera, something's gonna break and then we're gonna lose video. But that's like super annoying, right? Yeah, that's super annoying. Shutter speed, yep. There you go. Just gonna move over and hide it with my hair. Whoa, $50 donation, AD, man. Thank you so much, dude. Welcome back. Thanks. Hopefully it becomes a permanent thing. Thanks so much. Damn, dude. Thank you so much, man. Oh, I know who that is. Dude, thank you so much. Like right now, every time there's like stupid comments, I'm just gonna casually move out of the way and brain fry everybody in the stream. Thanks for streaming on YouTube. I left it up to the community to vote where the stream should happen, and community voted YouTube, so it's like, okay, YouTube it is. We'll see how things go, right? We'll see how things go. My hair is super long. I haven't cut in a while. It's starting to do its own thing. So yeah, it's had it slicked back for a bit, but yeah, it's starting to get a little crazy out of hand. New studio office, yeah. New studio office. Place is pretty cool. It's got like 30-foot ceilings. You want to see the ceilings? Let's see, hold on. We can do some camera stuff here. Okay, hold on. The 30-foot wood ceilings in here, it's nuts in here. Except now we can see that box. I got stuff I'm still putting away here. Just gonna move this over a little bit. Good for now. And got a nifty fireplace here. There's pretty neat too. Do I do any staking or farming? No, I don't. Let me catch up on chat here. No gurus? I'm trying Rockstar right now. You know, I really like gurus, but gurus, however you say it. But these Rockstars are actually not bad. They're pretty good. And they have a lot of really cool flavors. Like I tried one was marshmallow. That was pretty good. They have a cotton candy flavor. So I'm trying Rockstars. The price is right. I'm always a haggler for price. They were on sale, so I'm trying to Rockstar. It's not bad. Pretty good. Yeah, new house. New house. Did I change my house from the studio? Yes, new house. Morning, Johannes. Dude, there's so much dude and dudettes. There was so much chat to catch up on. I don't think I'm gonna have to skip a lot of this. But I can't thank AD enough. You know exactly who you are. You're in the mentorship program. Thank you so much, man. It's so much appreciated. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to check some stuff on chat here. Yeah, it's exciting. We're gonna see. You know what? Here's the story. Okay, I am gonna be returning back to streaming, so this is gonna be a normal thing again. I am beyond busy, but you just kind of do what it takes and push forward. There's so much going on right now. It's insane, but I want 2022 to kind of be the year where we blow day trading up in a very public way. So, for example, we've got the Trading Life competition happening. There's like teams happening right now. Teams Trading Life. Teams are popped off, by the way. Teams are going crazy. We're going to talk about teams today. We got teams. We got Trading Life. I'm busy developing Butterfly Effect 2, starting soon. I'm going to be doing that in April. We're actually in April. Jesus, I didn't even realize that. This month, I'm going to be starting Butterfly Effect 2. So that's going to be coming out to YouTube. So I've got a whole new course to develop. It's obviously, I've been working on it for a long time, but that's coming out. We got the Growing Pain series that I want to continue doing, and now adding streaming on top of it. So it's a heavy schedule. It's a very heavy schedule, but you know, we're going to just figure it out. I love you, dog. I love you too, Dizzy. Yeah, new house. Nice house. Nice new house. Still see the clock. Enough of the clock, man. Jesus, leave the clock out of it, dude. I haven't had any coffee today, so a little bit of energy drink's not so bad right now. Made your first 10% this week. Nice, man. You caught that knife 1 hour ago? This is something we went over in mentorship. I'm going to go over that level today on stream, but good job, man. Great trade. Good job, dude. Mentees better have caught that too. Searching camera menu for flickering. No, it's like shutter speed and frame rate and ISO. You just have to balance the exposure, because I have like 2 big lights here that I turned on. Honestly, if I turned them off, it would probably expose perfectly fine. And I got to play with the ISO and the frame rate and the shutter speed. So, and then that'll fix it. What state are you in? The state of Canada. Biggest state in the United States. What's viewership like right now? What do we have for viewership on YouTube? 120, not bad. Bigger than Twitch. Well, not really. Twitch was like up to like 300-400 at one point. What's your next project? I did go over that. When Nissan Skyline. RS7 is coming soon in like a month. In a month it arrives, so in 1 month I'll have the fancy new car that I ordered last year. That'll be fun. That'll be awesome. 2022 RS7. So I'm looking forward to that. Your thoughts on combining AI and deep learning with my methods? Not possible. I've tried. I tried for years. Not possible. Drink Celsius, it's healthier. So then you get into the argument and the discussion of health versus flavor. So it may be healthier for your body, but it's healthier for my mind to have the big flavors in my mouth. I know it's terrible, but you know, look, they're on sale. Don't crucify me for the rock stars. They taste good and they were cheap. So We're gonna see with this Rockstar thing. I haven't seen the new Batman. Rockstar Berries is good. I think that's what this flavor is. Fruit punch? Fruit punch. You're making lots of money, Ziggs? Nice, man. Love from India. Love from my side of the world to yours, man. BFE 2 coming out April. I'm hoping to have it released this month. I got a busy month. If not this month, next month. Absolutely. RS7's like my favorite vehicle. They chose right, so it's good. Kardic's clip? Yeah, Kardic's video was amazing. He's getting like right into the trading life from that. Of course, on YouTube, we're awesome. Thanks, man. Just ignore the clock. It's pretty hard. Pretty hard to ignore the clock. Zero sugar fruit punch is a gem. You better get a sponsorship. $8,200, man. Donating some profits with what I made from your knowledge, dude. You're insane. What are you doing? That's crazy, man. Thank you so much. Dude, you're a psycho. That's crazy. Thank you so much, man. Gaining thousands every day instead because they're cheap. What? Dude, I thank you so much, dude. 200. That's like how that's like a solid 80, 90 rock stars you just donated, man. Thanks so much, dude. What to expect from Butterfly Effect 2? Butterfly Effect 2 will change the way trading is done. Butterfly Effect 1 is relatively basic knowledge, to be fair. I don't want to say it's basic knowledge. Like, look, it's my life's work, and I've been in this for a long time. So for me, it's like, okay, people ask me, you know, at what knowledge level or things would you rank them at? And it's like, oh, beginner's course, advanced course, yeah, basic. Like, and then, you know, Butterfly Effect 1, just because it goes, Butterfly Effect 2 just goes so deep. So I've started teaching Butterfly Effect 2 to the mentees. And so my mind for the past 6 months has just been Butterfly Effect 2. So I'm kind of not really a good person to ask like that, because even though it's, you know, my work, it's like, okay, Butterfly Effect 1 feels so basic, and it's not. It's all the building blocks moving forward in comparative analysis. So I've also started to introduce RA, which is risk analysis, as part of the charts as well. Risk analysis, just like comparative analysis, is a big part of what we do in day trading. So I'll talk a little bit about that today. That's going to be fun to talk about. Yeah, let's yeah. What is there to say about Butterfly Effect 1? It's not basic by any stretch, but yeah, you start getting deeper into concepts, and then it's like, wow, yeah. Wish I made $200 from drinking a Rockstar. Major love from SoCal. What's up, man? South Cali, right on, dude. It's not going to be released all at once. No, it's going to be coming out in pieces. I'll be recording it, you know, as it goes, as time goes on. Since AED is your currency. Okay, so AED is a currency. I get it. I've never really seen that on YouTube. So AED is a currency. 200 AED, whatever it is, man. If these are, you know, what is the currency in Zelda? Rubles? Is that Zelda? I'm not talking about Russia, guys. I'm talking about Legend of Zelda. What is it? Rupees. Whether it's like rupees or pesos, man, doesn't matter. I'm thankful for anything. So that's it's the gesture that counts. So thank you so much, man. Risk guide was so advanced. Love you, bro, from India. Keep rocking. Thanks so much. Thanks, Rami. 480 is one CAD. Okay, cool. So it's like 25 rock stars. Still a lot of rock stars. It'll stock the mini fridge, which is that Marshall amp right there is actually a mini fridge. Most of you know that, but some of you don't. The Marshall amp is actually a mini fridge. Open that sucker up, you're gonna see a bunch of Perriers and rock stars in there. You think there are people who will just suck at trading even though they know your science? Of course. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a cool question. I think that's a great question. And the honest truth is like, yeah, trading is not just a game of data points. It's not just a one-sum game. Data points. It's like, yeah, I think there are people who will just fail at trading due to other factors. So like I have seen a lot of traders and I have mentored a lot of people. And some of them just don't have what it takes. And, unfortunately, it's kind of a journey you have to go on. And it's not even just mentorship, it's just everybody in general, right? Like there's ulterior factors. And they can be as simple as just not the right time to huge mental leaks, right? Like big leaks in mental analysis. It could be, procedural analysis leaks. It could be technical leaks. You can master science and data points and have this terrible tilt factor. And, like Kartik just said, it's a lifestyle, and it really is. It really is. Trading, and the deeper you get into it. And I want to reference poker for a second. Anybody who knows the poker world will immediately connect with this. And I'm not going to talk about tilt. I'm not going to talk about something so basic. I'm going to talk about Phil Galfond. And I chew my mic in half talking about Phil Galfond because I just think he's such a brilliant human being, and he's just such a well-balanced poker player. But like Phil Galfond at the highest level is just so cool, calm, and collected. And it's not just about being, if you were to strip all the layers of Phil Galfond down, and it's like, oh yeah, the guy's just like got great mental analysis, he doesn't go on tilt. It's not that he doesn't go on tilt, it's that there is 10 layers beneath what may just look at a surface level like, oh, the guy doesn't go on tilt. It's like, oh, he's got great mental attunity, or whatever the saying, whatever you want to call it. There's 10 layers below that where he has built systems and systems and systems for himself, just like I do with day trading, like procedural analysis, risk assessment, comparative analysis. Although comparative analysis is more of a data point in science, so it's not something you build out in that regard. But yeah, it's like there's so many layers that go deep. Somebody could just not take responsibility for their bad trades and forever. Like you want to talk about the most basic way somebody can fail. Don't take responsibility for your bad trades and just continuously ignore them. And it's just this leak that never, it's like having a boat and the boat has a hole in it and you've got a bucket. So for every foot you go, you have to, turn out a bucket of water. And it's just like this never ending process, right? Like if you don't fix your leaks and you can't, go ahead and make yourself a better trader, you might make good trades and be this like TA genius, but it's like, well, you're still going to fail, because if you just are too egotistical and you refuse to fix your problems, then it's like, okay, well, dude, like, of course you're going to fail, man. Of course you're going to fail. So then there's a lot more to trading. And I'm going to talk about some of that stuff today. I'm going to talk about the way in which I break down the different layers of trading. So I'm going to talk about some of that stuff today. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that trading is just a game of master of science. It's like Kartik said, it's really a lifestyle. It's really about, having a balanced mind and understanding and taking responsibility and being a mature human being. Like it's a tough game, right? It's a pretty serious game. Like, I've said this in the past. There's no one above you, no boss to tell you when you're doing good or bad. It's like you're it, man. You're your own resource, and that's it. So it's all about discipline and consistency. It's all about knowledge. It's a game of knowledge and help. You can't, man, you could go through as the most disciplined person in the world. You could be the most disciplined person in the world, but you need support systems. You need help. You need to open your mind. There's psychology behind trading. There's risk assessment behind trading. There's technical analysis. There's sciences. There's the mental game. There's discipline. And there's also team support and team help and communities and stuff like that. So it's just such a, you can look at it in one way where you can just say, oh, discipline and consistency. And those are great words to use. And they may be good anchor points, but they don't really tell the whole story. That's a great question, by the way. Wait, what? I need that fridge. You want to see the? Okay, I'll show you. You want to see the fridge? Okay, take a look at the fridge. See, it's actually a mini fridge. It's not even It's a mini fridge. It's a mini fridge, man. I did a little Price is Right, like Vanna White kind of thing there. Is it better to start with mentorship light and work your way up? Teach their own. I think, mentorship is obviously mentorship. It's a crazy thing we do. Mentorship light is a really good cost-effective way to get some of that deeper knowledge. It takes a lot longer, but mentorship light would be a great spot to start. Lifetime of experience is how I got all my knowledge. In my opinion, how will BFE2 advanced traders? Good question. It's gonna melt your minds. Butterfly effect too. There's levels I haven't talked about in there. There's something I call a floating level. There's all sorts of stuff in there. It's gonna melt people's minds. Think of it as like how it melted your mind to go from advanced to future of trading. It's going to melt your minds. That's what I'll say. Aaron donated 40. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. Nice donation. Thank you. Any more parts of Growing Pains? Yeah, Growing Pains is going to be a super long series. I could see Growing Pains growing into a 50 video series. I'm just going to constantly go through different things. It's just so I had a bit of a lull in content because I was moving, and it just it takes so long to move. It's like you're setting up the office. So I have this huge desk here. I have preamps. I have audio interfaces, chairs. It's just sound panels going up on walls. I had to unpack a whole house. It was crazy because I moved, right? So it was just crazy. I had been planning on moving for about a year now, and finally everything went together, and time was finally all the pieces fell into place. I know why GME bounced. I could take a look today. It's not a wood stove, it's gas, but it's a super retro old school stove. It's like a 1950s retro kind of thing. I love it. You believe in my science, you've not been able to succeed yet. Discord is where you're going to want to be. Anybody who's kind of stuck in that blockade where it's okay, I'm trading, I'm learning this science, I'm learning how to work. Power of community is always key. Discord is your answer. Join my Discord. About to reach 50k. That might happen today, who knows? Greetings from the UK. Cheers, man. Would it be correct to say that up to blueprint should make you a successful spot trader, and butterfly effect should make you an unsuccessful, or no, it would make you a successful trader? I think that's a good stepping stone to look at. I don't know if that metric holds. I think it's a dynamic metric based on the person, but I think that would be a good initial way to assess it. You have to realize blueprint is all procedural analysis, as to where butterfly effect is comparative analysis. So it's a different layer of trading. That's a Nixie clock in the background by Mill Clock. Wheel of Fortune, yeah. Thanks again, Taryn, for the 40, man. It's much appreciated. Comfortable doing some income breakdown? I don't. What do you mean by that? Talking about... Yeah, I don't talk about my personal income. Do I also have this on while trading? Yeah, I listen. So my house, well, the new house, anyways, has a sound system throughout it. So I got music on all day long. I love music. And then, yeah, I do listen to music while trading. I don't think it makes that big of an impact. I just kind of get in my zone, music or not. It's more about me being in my zone. I don't trade too much anymore. Yeah. Elliot Alderson. No comment. Cycle of hope and no hope almost crushed me in my dreams. In those times I found your courses. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, Amit. Floating level sounds hot. Yes, Jacob, from the video you asked if I'd moved houses from the one in the life of a day trader. Yes, and I'm in a new house now. I'm gonna chart today, yeah. What's my say about growing fake gurus on social media now? I don't know. I mean, I have an opinion about it. What do you want to hear? Let's talk about it. No, I don't know, man. Like, are we talking about in the day trading markets or everywhere? I'm specifically looking for your answer, Jan Kenneth. Yeah, I don't really have too much time to trade Viport or Vport. I'm busy producing content, so it's just like, you know, there's always that decision you have to make as a content creator if you're doing something, especially day trading. You know, I realized this a long time ago. If I wanted to take day trading content creation seriously, you kind of, there's so much push it takes to make an income as a content creator that you pretty much have to give your whole entire life to it. So you kind of have to make that decision early on if you're going to be day trading or content creating. Thankfully, I'm pretty decent at day trading, so I was able to supplement my income, and I had, you know, good money prior to jumping into content creation. So I was able to sustain myself. But you know, creating content is like a 24/7 job. I never get a break. I actually have Naya working with me full time, and I'm thinking about hiring somebody, a third person, to come on board. So like, forget me even being able to manage this whole entire world by myself, or even with a full-time person helping me. Now I have, you know, possibly a third person that I'm going to enlist this year. And it's like, yeah, you just don't have time for everything. And then you end up breaking down the amount of time you spend on creating content versus the income you can make in day trading. And day trading is no brain winner. Like you make, you know, like $5,000 a day in trading for 30 minutes of charting and 3 hours of paying attention and work. So you know how long it takes to make $5,000 in content creation? A long time, a lot of hours, not 3, I can tell you that. So then it just becomes this thing. Like if you're trading, it's like, well, why would I not just trade more? And why am I even bothering with creating content? So it kind of becomes like this hard stuck decision point you have to make, because at the point where you're trading and you're making really good money trading, it's kind of like, well, it kind of becomes this like fake reality or fake story that's told, right? Like, oh, I'm just trading and creating content is just an easy thing. You know, like if you want real content that takes a lifetime to master, and if you want this kind of stuff that's going to break markets and crack and reverse engineer markets like what I do, it's not something you do for 2 hours a day. It's something that consumes your life, and you spend, you know, 16, 17 hours a day operating it. And then you have to create the content to do it, right? So it just becomes this impossible decision. So you really get stuck with a line in the sand where you say you're doing either A or B. Thankfully, I still do take some trades. I'm just not an active trader anymore, but I still trade. It's just not, you know what I mean? It just because like there's no in between. There's no in between. You're either creating content full time and doing something really special like what I'm doing, or you're trading. And anything else in between, like I've seen content creators who are like, oh, you know, I'm a trader and I create content. Well, when do you have time to even, you know, make that content? So I don't know. People in the Discord that trade FX. Yep, absolutely. Growing fake gurus, nothing to say, man. Like, as bad as that is, it's everybody's fault for listening to it and trying to make $1 for cheap, right? Kind of a 50-50 thing. I think everybody has the responsibility to do their own research. And if they're so easy to buy into a fake guru, you know, are they the same person that would buy ice from an Eskimo? You know, like it's kind of the same thing. You know, are they the same person who can be sold a rock for $1,000 that was found on the ground 2 minutes later in a driveway? It's like the exact same thing. So everybody has an onus and a responsibility to take it upon themselves to do their research, right? Like it's just, I don't know, fake gurus, people are gonna do it. So like it is what it is, man. What everybody in the world's supposed to band against fake gurus and just be like, and then that's all opinion based too. Who's to say they're fake? I have people slinging shade at me all the time, but then it always ends up being that people who either fail in day trading or have some other kind of weird angle that they're trying to do, like some other kind of buy my course and repackage Cotton's material angle. and they can't make it in trading, so then they just try to repackage my stuff and then they turn into gurus. So it's like gurus are just, it's a 50-50, man. It's a 50-50. You know? You know, there's a saying that's pretty true. Those who can't do teach, right? Like, and that's pretty true with a lot of content creators. Unfortunately, I don't want to say content creators, but a lot of people, like, you know, these day trading gurus that everybody sees. It's like, well, if people are gonna fall for it, then they were gonna fall for it. Like, it's, everybody has to have their own responsibility in that and not point a finger. Like, yeah, it's just shitty on all ends. And then a lot of people end up, you know, there's not always bad outcomes that come out of that either. There's like these fake gurus. People go, you know, there's lots of people in my community that are like, man, I didn't know what to do. I only knew that there was these gurus out there, and then that teaches them what to stay away from. So it can also be like a pinpoint to learn something, right? So I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily bad. People are going to do what they do, man. There's no, what's the world supposed to do? Band together against gurus? Like, screw it, man. Let them do what they want to do, and it's their life, and you know, they have to answer for that at the end of their days. And they're gonna have kids one day, and their kids are gonna be like, Dad, was that you? And it's like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? So it's just like, oh, okay. You know, how do you spend your time? Create something special for people. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really have too much of a hot take on it. Just like, people are gonna do what they're gonna do is my short of it. Do we still have the M3? No, do not have the M3. I got an RS7 instead. FOT is important to understand BE. I would agree. FOT is pretty important to understand BE. Do I ever meditate? Yeah, sometimes. Someone told me that I need to get banned from a Discord in order to buy a membership. What? Can't find the Discord? You got to join my Patreon if you want access to the Discord. How did you come up with a hard close? So I realized that, so everything in day trading is a theory of decycling. It's a math term, right? Like, you go back to the 1800s or whatever, everything is a theory of decycling. Anyways, long story short, there's a mathematical equation that has always controlled the charts. And that's when I started to realize how to reverse engineer these markets. Was the first step was understanding the markets decycle. So if you were to Google the term decycling, it's something like mathematical points that reduce themselves until they come to a conclusion, which is kind of like how day trading is. So that was like the founding, that's kind of the founding blocks that day trading is built upon, is the theory of decycling. So yeah, it was just simple. Like, a hard close exists as it can close all time frames underneath it, because everything in day trading must decycle forward. So it, you know, when you start to realize the more origin ethos of day trading and how it got created at first, like back in the 1800s or even earlier, when people were starting to come up with these points that would control the charts, it was like, oh yeah, decycling, of course, right? Jenny's good. It's the advanced, the $45 tier is the one that gives you access in Discord. Love from Chicago, you've changed my life already. Cheers, man. Right on, Jay. I will never grow too much to make my science irrelevant. You know how hard and deep my science is? Think about the amount of effort it takes to learn my science. Well, you may be an incredible trader, right? Like, think about how much, like, people aren't doing that. Like, people are lazy, man. It's never gonna happen. It's like a university curriculum. It just, like, there's universities out there, doesn't mean everybody's gonna be doctors, right? Like, it takes a crazy amount of time to learn my work. I love making content. Yeah, I love helping people. Like, every day I get messages from people saying that I'm helping change their lives, and people from all over the world, developing countries, first world countries, men, women, everything, young, old. I get messages from people every day saying how I'm changing. I get like 10 just in these messages today on here and that. that's a different kind of currency in life, doing good things, you know. So I love it because, you know, one day is going to come and my kids are going to look at what I've done, and they're going to look up to me, and I'm going to have a, you know, people will remember Cotton Candy TA, you know, like people love me and I love helping them. So yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Absolutely love making content. Doing a great job. Thanks, man. Do I feel tired? I'm not tired of creating content. I don't think I will be for a long time. I just have days where I work so hard that I'm tired. Like, yeah. Where can you find the order of courses there? So I have something called How to Use My Channel, Jan. If you, or sorry, not Jan, Sina. If you go to that How to Use My Channel video, you'll find out how to use, like, which order of courses you're supposed to go. Watch my video on how I reverse engineer the markets, Goku. I talk about it. Tips for navigating taxes and trading: hire an accountant, corporate accountant, not a H&R Block, you know, $500 a year accountant. My work ethic is insane. I just try my best. It's the people that keep me going. It's the people's lives who I'm changing that keeps me going. BE2's free on YouTube. Selling any Canadian rocks? Not the kind I can talk about. Kidding. Most people give up. Yeah, that's really a big true take, David. Most people give up. You can tell as the views de-escalate down is where people's like, it's just like university. Year 1, there's so many friends you make. Year 2, a bunch of those friends are gone. By year 3, like 80% of your friends are gone. Year 4, you're like, oh, there's one person I recognize, right? Going to your masters, you're by yourself. Like, it's the same thing. Like, knowledge is not an easy task. Binary trading like Pancake Swap? Not much. If I'm going to stream, is it going to be on YouTube? I haven't decided yet. I'm going to see how viewership is. Viewership's pretty good right now. 160 right now for day 1. We're going to see how it goes. I got a lot of stuff we're doing today. Let's talk about what we're doing today before I continue on chat. I know everybody's really hyped to see me, so I'm just spending a little bit extra time today just catching up with chat. So we're going to do some teams. I'm going to interview some of the teams. So I created these teams in the Discord channel, and they've been absolutely killing it. Like, the one team, we have Team Arcane. They made like, they're over 500% now in like 2 to 3 days of trading, or 1,000% or something. I don't know if I read their chat properly. It's either 500 or 1,000%. But anyways, they made like 500% in 2 days. I got a secret team I've been making that nobody really knows about. So we're gonna talk about that today. I've got these teams in Discord that I'm developing, and it's just like, yeah, they're doing really good. So we're gonna talk about teams. There's gonna be events. I'm gonna be doing community events, tournaments. Going to be trying to hook them up with sponsorships that I'm currently going to be pursuing to give them trading funds, so we can kind of do like a 6-team tournament, and I'm going to be able to provide them trading funds. There's some hedge funds that have approached me for larger amounts of money, you know, in the 6-figure amounts, for teams who are, you know, doing good and winning these things. So we're going to create teams into like this big cool community event where we have different races. We have like profit races, little localized tournaments, and in the Discord, I only have 6 teams right now. I only have 6 teams available. There's been 19 now as of today who have tried to apply. So there's spot for 2 teams left, but 2 teams open. So Discord members are on the grind right now, and I'm doing like interviews. There's two processes. They have to get interviewed by Naya, who's our community psychologist, and she assesses their readiness, ability, teamwork, and mental analysis, everything MA, and then I go and assess them as a team. So she really becomes the front point to see if they're, you know, ready for the content interview, and then I interview them and see what they're capable of. So we got 4 teams so far, and then there's going to be community events and all sorts of cool stuff that we're going to do, live trading, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a really, really cool thing to do, and I'll be able to help those people who are in my Discord and those traders to help them grow by being able to give them capital from sponsors and funds and things like that as time goes on. So it's going to be a really cool thing that I continue to do. So that's something really neat that we're doing right now. Discord is the answer for anybody who's taking my science. Like, join the Discord. Straight up, like, join the Discord. What do you do after experiencing a traumatic life event? I mean, these are hard things. I mean, you need to take time to heal, right? Like, what do you do after experiencing a traumatic event? I mean, trauma could be anything. It could be, you know, are we talking about mortality and death? Are we talking about getting into a car accident, something shocking, a shock value? I mean, the most important thing is taking time to heal and to refine yourself. I think that's important. Like, you're talking about trauma, and that word trauma in any way means that you have had something that has impacted your life in a way that it's affecting your day-to-day decisions. I mean, getting to the root of that and finding a process where you can heal yourself is always going to be the most important thing when you're talking about trauma as a word, right? You have to heal, because then you're going to have this lingering anchor in everything you do, and you're not going to quite be that same person. You're not going to be able to fire in the same rate, right? It's like an engine that hasn't been tuned up for 6 years, that it's running on oil that's like sludge, right? Like, it's just going to be, you know, like, it's not. You have to heal through trauma. You know, we're human beings. You know, being trading robots is one thing, but we're still human beings with emotions, right? So I think that's, I think that's pretty important. I'm never going to catch up on chat, by the way. I'm never going to catch up on chat. So I'm just going to be more expert. Expert tier is closed forever. I'll open expert tier the day I get like 10,000 subs or something on like Twitch or on YouTube, when I have like, they're called super. If I get like 10,000 members, then I'll do that, but it's not happening otherwise. I don't think I'm ever getting 10. That's why I say 10,000. I guess you can hold me to that number. If I ever get like 10,000, like the monthly memberships, then sure, we'll open expert tier. I'll give people the option to join that. It's been closed for years, and people have been asking me for years, so it would take something pretty massive. I do have a daily morning routine, yes. Stop loss makes sense. High leverage always. Life karma, yep. I don't use supplements to increase focus. I find that diminishes focus over time. Seabass, man, cheers. Thank you so much, Seabass. I deserve so much more. It'll come, Adam. I'm just happy to be where I am and to be able to help those who I can. Birthday's coming up soon. Not religious, no. I believe in a higher power and nothing else. Oh, thanks, Jacob. Appreciate that. It goes deeper into BE2. There are concepts I keep to myself, of course. There's lots. It's just how much I'm going to share in my lifetime, I don't know. BE2 will be a nice chunk of it, but there's definitely more than BE2, I can tell you that, because I know where BE2 ends and it's not the whole story. So, yeah, for sure. Difference between log and linear, just keep linear. Don't use logarithmic. The charts are created on, you actually can use either. It won't matter. It's just, if you're charting on log, always stay on log. If you're charting on linear, always stay on linear. Do not chart on linear, then change to logarithmic. It's going to mess your charts up. You can actually just do either all log or all linear, but the charts were made on linear before logarithmic was created. So the sciences were built on linear, so we always use linear chartings. We never use logarithmic. This was something that was introduced that has no back effect on the charts from a time period when these data points were created. It would just break the charts, actually. So you can use log if you want, like you can use logarithmic, but only ever use logarithmic. But you're better off, if you want more accuracy, using linear. Just don't mix the two. I did talk about the projects profile. Profile. I talked about what's going on. William Sky became a super member. Thank you so much, William. I know that face. I know that name. Thanks, man. No, Jan, I did not. I've seen people giving up in 2 months. Yep. Of course I remember you, Yanni. You changed my life. Yeah, you bought that, you bought your car, right? It was like a Golf or something. Two years later, still trying. An interesting scene of young traders coming out of Chicago. I mentioned your life-changing science all the time. Some listen, some go back to scanning news and using indicators. Yeah. I mean, day trading as a field and as a career is going to explode. Like, day trading is one of our new world metas, right? Like, imagine in 80 years, people are going up in space and starting to go to different planets and, we're starting to migrate to other places, and people are going to be living in small little rooms with nothing but an internet connection. How do people make an income? Like online, right? Day trading is going to be one of our future fields. Like financial markets will always be here, but day trading as an actual place where it's not such this like snake oil and smoke and mirrors type of thing like how it is now. Like that's one of the things I hope to accomplish, to stabilize this industry a bit. And Panky, man, thank you so much, Panky. Oh my god, Panky, you're a G, man. Thank you so much, Panky. Panky's awesome. I love Panky. Yeah, like it's not this. As soon as you get rid of the snake oil and the smoke and mirrors, and that's kind of what I'm trying to accomplish with my science and some of the things that I'm doing, like a stabilized, more normalized type of world for day trading, right? Where there's a science that's used and it's very straightforward. Like we use a science and we make decisions, and the ones that those of us who are better at studying, just like university and being a doctor, those of us who are better at studying and who take it more seriously and who go further and further in the profession and the field, they grow. You know, we're just in the golden era of day trading when right now, you know, it's so easy to make 7 figures a year. It's like, it's crazy. So, I mean, it's just like, yeah, it'll happen. It's just going to take time. Most important for traders' mindset, open-mindedness. Even got to remember that there are people who often watch over and over. Yep. Never give up. Yep. I agree with Puck. Never give up. Someday my science will be taught in a university, maybe. I think investing and day trading are two different things, Ziggs. I think if you're talking about investing, you're not talking about day trading. I teach day trading. If you're talking about long-term investing, real estate is the same thing. It's long-term investments. I will win Project Candy. Kardik, man, 400. Thank you so 400 rock stars, man. Thank you so much. That's going to be my thing now, 400 rock stars. 400 rock stars, man. Thank you so much, dude. Can't be rock stones. That's what XQC says. You know, 400 rock stones, 400 juicers. But I'm drinking rock stars, so I'm gonna dub that. 400 rock stars, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's just investing is different than day trading. Like, buy gold bricks. You might as well invest in crypto. It's like pick your investment. You know, some people buy stamps and collect stamps. The same thing as holding Bitcoin, right? Buy a stamp and hold it. That's an investment. Buy a piece of land and hold it. They're all investments. It's just like, you know, that's very different than day trading. So, you know, long-term investing is not to be confused with day trading. Day trading is, yeah. Team Enigma on top. Yeah, Team Enigma is doing good, man. Beginner traders and teams? No, definitely not. There's some teams that are like newer traders. There's some teams that are like silent killers. There's mentees. Like, it's crazy. I know for a fact there is Devanshu 100k forex funded traders. I know there is, but I don't ask those details, so I'll just say yes and no, because I won't go into, like, I don't ask people about their financial standings. I don't, it's just think it's not in good taste. Regardless if they have $10 in an account or 7 figures. I work with, you know, I work with people who have lots of money, and I work with people who have $5, and it's all kind of the same in my eyes. There's a certain, you know, purity and wholesomeness that I like to keep there. Discord is your first step in joining teams. Panky says, I just want to say thank you for everything. Thank you so much, Panky. I'm going to skip a lot of this chat. I can't, it's too much to read. I'm never going to get to the actual stream stuff. I'm just trying to scan through chat. AI will never take over human trading. No. XQC, yeah. He's Canadian, man. I've been watching XQC since he was playing Overwatch with like 2K viewers. I watched XQC before he when he was an Overwatch streamer. It was a long time ago. I want to know how you predicted the 64K top. It's a question that's been asked. I actually predicted that and the 70K top right after it. And the bottom at 29. I'll never tell. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. We'll see. Will I save the stream? Yeah. I think PayPal has a donation option. I think you can donate. There should be like a donate link. If not, I can pull one up. I have it keyed into Nightbot, but I don't think I activated Nightbot yet. Maybe for next stream I'll have it keyed up. Yeah, there's a way you can donate. Oh, what is it? Hold on. I'll have to rip the link. I'll put it in chat. Oh, Nightbot's working. There you go, dude. Nightbot's working. Juicer confirmed. Yeah, man. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Okay, hold on. We got Seabass. Thank you so much again, Seabass number 2. I think it looks like. I have big hopes for Kardik in the Trading Life series. That's going to be super cool. And I'm not sure if I'm going to say your name right here, but Nahul? Nahul? Thanks for sharing your knowledge. I always enjoy learning. Cheers from Argentina. Cheers. Thank you so much. I love everything that you do. Thank you for everything. 200 for 200 rock stars from Damon. Thank you so much, Damon. Yeah, I'm gonna save the stream. Yep. Yeah, BE2 is coming out in then like a month or two. Oh boy. Okay, what are we doing first? Ban the spammer. I did. Yeah. Fun hot girls spam. Yeah. I banned that. Do we get to teams first, or do we do charting first? What are we doing first? What are we doing first? Mods. See, I don't think there are any mods. I guess I need to find mods. Okay, let's do some charting. Teams, charting, teams. We'll do charting first. Let's bring up some trading view. Developer Rockstar addiction. I've already had one. The addiction's already set. Do I believe that some? This is a cool question. Now we've got the right questions being asked. Do you believe that some brokers pay educational platforms to teach wrong systems to set up failure for retail traders? I think there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and I think, and I've said this before, everybody already knows this take, but I'm going to say it again. If I was running a big fund and I put myself in the shoes of other hedge funds and things like that, if I was running a large fund, okay, how do you make sure that you can make more money when the field is already riddled with idiots? And I'm not saying idiots in a bad way, just like from the perspective, I'm putting myself, like, I'm acting right now. I'm acting right now as I'm Mr. Hedge Fund running, and I make, how many millions of dollars a day, like $50 million a day trading in my firm, or 20 million or whatever the amount. It doesn't matter. The 50 million would be a lot, actually. But okay, let's say I make $10 million in my firm trading a day, or 20 million. How do I make more idiots? There's already lots of market idiots, so I just need to buy more bad money. So I need to ensure whatever systems they're following right now, they continue to follow. So I am going to spend $1 million on this platform to prop this person, or I'm going to spend $1 million for this person to all of a sudden become, they are teaching some indicator garbage. Let's get them to 5 million subscribers, boys. And then all of a sudden you have an anonymous person makes whatever creator five million subs later. And it's like, yeah, like, of course, man, this is how you buy dumb money. You're just buying dumb. You're turning 10 cents into $1 by doing that. So, I mean, like, I'm not going to answer that as such a straightforward, do I think it's true, yes or no? But I think there's a lot of really smart people out there who do exactly this kind of stuff. I'd probably just answer the question anyways, even though I said I wouldn't. No, I never look at total market cap. I haven't looked at that for years. Like 4 or 5 years. I still have matcha in my smoothie in the morning. Okay, yeah, what are we looking at? What is dot down, 88 down? They're just different contracts. This is kind of just like my list. I believe these are no longer active. They're just ETFs. So they're like, no, I don't want to say they're like indices. Indices are like a grouping of different things, like 100 or whatever, different things. These are ETFs. So they just represent ETF. Just Google ETF and you'll see it. Techno music? No, we're not doing techno music. So that's a yes. That's a rock star. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's doing Bitcoin things. It hit a few levels. There's some stuff we went over in mentorship yesterday. Last time I charted was yesterday for a mentorship lesson. We were about here. Let's close this, make this sucker big. Bitcoin dominance, no, BTCT is useless. No, dominance charts don't tell you anything. I am going to talk about risk assessment today. Actually, no, that's inaccurate. We charted this from here yesterday. We charted this from here. There was 2 15-minute levels that got hit, because this would have been like 7 or sometime around 7 in the morning, because that's when mentorship was. It was like right around here, right? Like mentorship was right around here. Yeah, 7 in the morning. And then so the short was the 15-minute levels, very straightforward. The short was the 15. The 15 had already got hit before that, right? Like your 15 had already gotten hit here. So it's just like following the trail of 15-minute hold levels. This was a short right here. Target got hit, 15-minute level filled, and then straight to target there. So that was our first target. Yeah, target's hit, 15-minute is fulfilled. There's an origin level here. We forgot to mark that yesterday, so I marked it today, but there's an origin level there. And then I believe it goes to that origin level, hits trend. I think that was trend developed, actually. That was trend developed. I believe it was on the 1 hour. Yes, that was a 1 hour trend. Just 1 hour interior, right? And yeah, I think you end up hitting the origin level, and then, yeah, you hit the origin level, so shorts get filled, or targets get hit, and then you just go after your level down here. I think this was like a 1 minute level. We did a whole breakdown on this. I want to say it's a 1 minute level, but it could be a 3 minute level. I don't think it was the 5. No, I think it was a 3 minute level. No, it was a 1. So it was a 1 inside the 3. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, a 1 minute level inside that 3 minute range. So that's fine. So that's kind of like your quick little breakdown of Bitcoin over the last, you know, what had happened in the last 24 hours. Very, very straightforward. Going after an origin level, this is going to be breakout for when it goes up higher to see if it's going to stabilize here at that weekly. I believe this is an interior weekly. Yes, I don't even know if this is a weekly. Actually, I think I just used... No, it's not a weekly. Right, so this is a weekly backside. Weekly level, daily backside, inside the range. There's a bunch of stuff going on there. That's like a whole chain of analysis on, you know, what that level represents. So I haven't streamed. I did like one little stream in August, which was just kind of like a more of an event than streaming. I did that in August, and then other than that, I haven't streamed in 14 months. February 20th of 2021 was the last one. So it's been a long time. How do I draw that trend? That's an interior trend. So that trend is located on the hourly. Highest time frame that starts the range and then gets adapted, right? So you've got this here at first, breaks, hard closes, adapts. Now you can adapt it to other time frames. So now you can move down. Actually, you have to start over at a higher time frame just to confirm there are no other time frames available. So then you're going to start your cycle once you start hard close breaking this. So here, here, now you're here. So if it continues to cycle in this smaller interior range right here, I believe this is, shouldn't be a 4 hour. No, it can't be a 4 hour. It never can be a 4 hour there. You've got, you know, your interior move, which is here. So if you can kind of hold this and keep cycling through this trend, you're going to try to break that origin. Pretty straightforward. The maximum amount of on a regular account, like a regular public account or retail account, would be 2,500. Raj, that Contenier, man, thank you for becoming a member, Raj. Thank you so much. Point to the pump earlier to develop a trend to see if it can hold its range. See if it can develop a range. That's the point of that pump. Like you're talking about what's the point of the pump from this little piece to here. It's trying to develop a range. Breakout is the origin, which is right here. So you can just, you know, do some kind of different dictation. 15-minute origin, that's going to be your breakout to see if it can move above the range. That's going to be your breakout hard close, create the attack on the reverse, which is right here. And this bottom side, like it's I'm just seeing if it's going to hold this little interior range. Like kind of your basic flag, right? It's just understanding it at a deeper level is important. If BTC hits 42K, I wipe my entire account. You should never wipe your entire account on one trade. Relevance in the news? Nothing. Zero. It's all science. Why is it dumping? It's been dumping. It's probably going to go down to the lower range down here at like 40K. Likely going to go down to this lower range right here to see if it can hold the move. I mean, it broke out of this range, right? Like it broke out of this range. Like this down here has been laddering the move. And it's trying to create long-term origins up here. So like this will be the breakout for the future. 48. This is actually nothing right here. This is just something I use as an example. But, you know, when you see something like this, origin 4 hour, right? And then you have a ladder that's been continuing on. Like I don't necessarily know. Well, I shouldn't say I don't know. I should say I don't think. When you break out of kind of this here to go and create an origin level up here, and this is starting to confirm the origin level, that becomes breakout. When that happens, you're not really looking to go after trend anymore. At that point, you're more looking to develop the ladder against the current range. And there's this part of the range, and then there's this part of the range. There's two parts of the range. You're likely going to just go down to this range to see if it can hold. And if it can, you might see it go and hit that origin. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff that has to happen before that. But don't think it's just like, oh, you know, dumping for no reason. Like it's going to. It's not dumping. It's establishing a range. It's establishing it's part of the move. And right now it's just bouncing off that reverse level. This creates the range right here. This tries to bounce that level. Straightforward stuff. See it. How close did we get on this one? Let's see. Should we check? Check. 42,824.5. What was the low here? 42,824.0. 50 cents, dude. Let's go, man. There we go. 50 cents on the money. And now you develop the hold here. Try to create higher time frames. Start juicing up on hold levels and you're good. But, you know, first and foremost, you have to kind of establish something here and at least break out of some of these like little, even if they're micro interior ranges, like, or not ranges, but trends, even if there's like some micro trending in here, you really do need to break out of it. So got something like this, right? I wouldn't put too much weight into these trends right now, but you at least have to have some kind of breaking this micro trend, right? Like you have to have some kind of breaking of some kind of micro trend here. At least to just create a hold level and stabilize and say, hey, we've broken over this, at least even if it's the smallest interior trend. Just something to say like we're not being pushed down anymore, but even if it's the most localized trends, right? And then you would even just go further and further. You just, you know, future trading stuff, local legacy here to here. Like try to break out of this if you can. And then create that 3-minute hold level right here. Create that 3-minute hold, break out of this, create that hold. That's really what, you know, you want to cross and create some shields in the trade. Just got in at 42,824. Nice, man. Kartik, let's go. Dude, these spam bots are real, right? Like, seriously. I'm gonna have to put some filters on. I'm gonna have to put some filters on for these spam bots. Very refreshing to see you charting and looking at mine the same, basically. Yeah, that's sweet. Floating level, butterfly effect too. It's funny how the news always happens when charts are set up perfectly. News is an engine. What can I say about news? The media has created an engine. It's like news is jobs, right? News is jobs. So like the thing about news is that news is jobs. Reporters, publishers, print houses, marketing, digital marketing, websites. It's an engine that's created, and if there was no news that was reported, think of all the jobs that would be lost. News is nothing but an engine, and there's good news and bad news, but for the most part, like, you know, all news, you know, for the most part, media and news it's all just an engine created, right? So there's a lot of jobs that get created off of the news, and you know. Yeah, news is an engine. Simple as that. News is an engine. I don't know. Why am I ignoring your comments? Because they're like low angle dumb comments. Like with the Elon ownership, yeah. So Elon Musk bought Twitter, right? Oh, yeah, he bought Twitter. He bought a bunch of shares in Twitter, like something like 10% of the company. Anchored VWAP? No, I don't use any of that garbage. That stuff's all trash. The only thing you need is right here, horizontal raise, and that's it. That's the only two tools you'll ever need charting. That's it. Everything else is just a waste. You really have to not hard close this level right now, right? Like you really have to kind of stay above this. It's trying to create that reverse bounce, but yeah, we're gonna see if it hard closes this 1 minute or not. Yeah, this is a 1 minute reverse. It's still active because the trend is created here, making the 1 minute reverse still active. Month hold level on Twitter. What is that on Twitter? The monthly hold level? I think it's TWTR or something like that. I charted this like I don't know how long ago. It's been so long ago. It's not even funny. This would have been back in 2020. I charted this. Yeah, monthly hold level, probably, you know, range inside of a range type of thing. Got weekly backside here, which boils down to front side backside right there, and range inside of that, which would be your front side daily here. So likely this is what I went after. Yeah, trend side daily. So it's just a monthly level with a, you know, combination level, which is a butterfly effect 2 thing, or, you know, range inside of a range type of ordeal here. So it goes after the monthly by attacking the combination level inside of it. I don't mind using some of these terms I haven't taught yet because they're coming soon anyways. That's it right there. Just very straightforward. That one's probably pretty bang on too. 31.40, 31.30, 10 cents, yeah. Why is the trendline tool not the rate tool? This one here, the rate tool, because you can adjust the rate tool, like extend left. You need to know where your base and reach points are, so you use rate tool without the extend left. I better take this off so I don't leave it on the future and think, oh, there's, you know, a level there. You just do the trail of 1 minute now. You're trying to not hard close these. Yeah. What's my favorite time frame? All time frames. Fib retracement's useless. Timed with news release. I mean, it was a perfect spot to buy if you were going to do it, right? Yeah, I can see BFE being that too. Yep. GME, sure, I could look at GME. Well, part of like anything moving up right now is going to be, I haven't charted GME in a long time. Part of anything going up right now, like those are my targets, were down here at the rate, is that we have market recovery right now happening abroad, like the S&P, and there's market recovery happening abroad. I mean, you would just break down your ranges, right? Like you would just be breaking down your ranges and seeing like what's going on here. It looks like there's possibly an origin here, and so there would be something inside of that. So you got the 4 hour all the way down here. There's no 4 hours here. So you're looking for some kind of like origin level. I should use the replay. Looking for some type of origin level. So it looks like it could possibly be something here, or here. Something in here would be what the origin breakout would have created. So maybe something inside of there. Can't be a 15, so it's not a 15. You're back up here at that same thing here. No data points. So this is unfortunate because I have actually the highest level account you can get. I even have 1 second on my charts. I do this for data retrieval purposes. So like if you go to 1 second charts, like even on Bitcoin, you can go to like 1 second charts on Bitcoin. Very cool, very interesting to watch, but very useless. But I have this for data retrieval because you get 10,000 extra candles on TradingView. And I don't want to go to the 40,000 candle plan because that's like a private thing. You have to go developer mode to get, and I have no interest in that. So anyways, like I have the TradingView account with, I believe 20K candle. I know it's double the normal accounts. But I think too much time has passed to see where that origin level might possibly be, if it even is indeed an origin level. Could be an interior trend on GME. But what I can say is that, yeah, it's losing its level. Yeah. What I can say is that it would have been nice on GME to see some deeper time frames. I haven't charted GME in a long time. So we're looking at why it stopped at 77 or whatever it stopped that you're asking. Always start with the highest time frame. Range is down here. Weekly's too big in this case. You got a leg of a move here, so you really need to stay above this daily leg. Like you kind of have to stay above this daily leg, or not start not hard closing it, which you kind of have like a range all the way from like here to here, then you get back into here, which is also the backside. So you've got something between this range holding and going to test this deeper valley here. Really need to see what's in here. Otherwise, you're just kind of, you're looking for the origin that's in and around here. So it's somewhere inside of here. Possibly that's what it could be. Could also be a trend. I haven't charted GME, like you'd have to go through your trends. I was hoping it was something straightforward. I think you have to kind of do a whole chart mock-up at this point. you'd have to do like an entire chart mock-up. Obviously, you know, you've got nothing there. I don't think you'd have anything 12-month up. You have your first trend here. You have this here. You have a few different trends here at the end. It is. Here. That again. At least you've got some trends to work with. Weekly, monthly. You've got some trends to work with. I don't think this is going to be the case of trends, but at least you've got some. Way too far up. So you just have to keep working a trend architecture. It could be a trend. Could be trend that was hit. No, still just keep working it up, right? You've got trend here. You've got next trend. There. Still not trend. It's not going to be trend. Not going to be trend. So it's got to be something inside of this range that starts from here. It's got to be something that starts in this, like in this little more interior range there. Like there has to be something that acts from here between here and here on a different time frame. I was going to look at buying GME down around the $50 mark, but everything above that is too high. No origins there, no origins there. I checked the 12, but it's never going to be the 12. Never going to be. I don't even care about looking. Got here, which would have been the inverse hold level. So breaks over your hold level and then has another interior that it's testing. This is testing something. There's a range inside of that. Never pay attention to news. Never, Jacob. Adapted on hard closes your trend. Origin and a base. They're both points of polarity, so important to just know that both an origin and a base are both points of polarity. So you know, defining between the two is just understanding polarity at a deeper level with understanding the polarity and like they're both polarity. So Nightbot is spamming morning show. Don't listen to Nightbot. That's not true. That is not true. You can hack TradingView by seeing more data, RA. How would you find where the last candle is? How would you find where the last candle is what I would want to know. Yeah, because I mean, like, this gets hit. That's fine. It's clearly an origin. Like, you can see there's an origin somewhere between here and in here. Like, inside of this range, you can clearly see, like, there is going to be an origin. You can tell because this tests here, and then that becomes where it breaks out and retests. So, like, even if you floated this down to here, there is some type of origin level that this was back testing and breaking over. Like, this is the breakout for the origin level. It flies way over, goes back and back tests the origin to see if it can hold the move, because the origin turns into a pretty critical hold level and then moves up. So you can already tell that there's something here. And so, you know, you remove this and you go in the future and, you know, your origin is hit again and the move is held. But it's just to see this deeper part of what's inside of that range and that origin, you need the time frames. You need the time frames. But you can see the origin, like you can tell where it's created without even having to go on the charts. You can tell with this candle right here, when it goes for that super high wick, there's a lower time frame origin in there that was created, goes over, tests back to hold it, and then moves up. And then that just creates support for the move, right? Like you have the hold level right here, right? Because this is the test of the origin. And then you'd have this right here, which is your first hold level right there. So you would just follow that trail to this candle and then move to your hold level, which gives you that right there. Then this is all broken down and just goes right back after that origin again, which is fine. It can go after that origin, right? Like that's going to hold long term. But there's something else deeper in that you need access to. Like you need to see something else in there. Unless you have a hold level in here that was simply just never hard closed. Like, but I'm sure with this amount of time it would be. Yeah, the weekly was hard closed, so you wouldn't want to pay attention to that. Like you wouldn't want to pay attention to this. Yeah, it's unfortunate you can't see any deeper information there. SMP? I have SMP on my list. We're gonna do team stuff pretty soon. We're gonna do team stuff. Like Bitcoin, what it's doing. Still hitting that level. Still trying to hold its move. Get rid of this right now. I need to get over this, right? Or is there a 5 or a 15 that's being developed here? There you go, 5 minute right there. Perfect. No 15. 15 is still up there. 5 minute level, perfect. Move starting to develop. You actually have part of your move developing. You got the 5 minute hold level, you're starting to hard close over. Now you need to get over this, because that's your 15 minute. You need to start closing over top of that 15 minute hold. Problem is you got a 15 minute here that can act as a reverse, so you wouldn't really care about rebuying this, but getting over top. Establish this one right here as your next 15. So that's good. This one we don't need. We can just get rid of this. The level's a 1 minute reverse. The 5 minutes developed? Yes, Kartik. Exactly. And the backside's trying to break over that. SMP? What are we talking about with the SMP? What was the question for SMP? Love from London. Thank you so much. Stop loss hunting? No, it's if you don't like money, you believe in stop loss hunting. Would you love to see the move develop in the moment? Yeah. Yeah, if you're in the trade, like you're in a great spot, right? If you're in the trade, you're in a great spot because you have a pretty nice shield. Like you buy the 1 minute reverse level, right? That 1 minute reverse is right here. I believe it was this one. I want to say it was this. I had it marked. I just deleted it. I've walked through this chart with the mentee group. I believe it's this one, right? 1 minute. Right there. Yeah, that's the 1 minute. 1 minute's hit. Perfect entry. Good leverage trade. And then you've got your 5 developed. So yeah, you're good. You're juicy on this. 5 minute is your shield. It's above your 1 minute. There's no way to lose money on this trade. You're in a 100x trade. Hold your trade until it breaks your shield. It's pretty straightforward. You could even have 2 shields in this trade by adding one right here. Hold on, before we decide what time frame, let's work down in time. You have the hourly. Okay, then you're gonna do that. You would also have a 5 right here. So you could have 2 shields. The further this trade gets out, you could get out here if you want to lock up profits or pay fees. But I I don't think so. I don't think so. I think at this point I don't like that either. That 1 hour will become active later today once timeframes have developed, but right now it's not something we would use. There's not enough time passed for this to be even active because this hourly candle hasn't even finished moving yet. So you would need a few more hours to pass so you can actually create some separation off this right here, like off of this wick in the move. You need some separation. Like you need it to go up and down and up and down, and then you can create this because it's had that separation. But for all we know, you know, in an hour from now it could be down in here, and this was never even a trend to begin with, so it's just not active yet. The 15-minute can be active if some more time passes. The 5-minute is active right now though. 5-minute is good, so you can use a 5-minute as a shield here, nothing else. So if you scroll back and then use the replayer tool for the last candle, I'd be interested to see if that works. Imports the pre-market after hours data. I wouldn't. It can only be a certain time frame. Kind of candles? Just normal candles. Maybe just because they're a custom color, they look different. Thanks for everything. You're welcome, Yanni. Or Yan version 2. Reverse levels, Johannes. Go look in butterfly effect and under reverse levels. That's a reverse level. This 1 minute. I believe it's less than 72 reverse levels. 72. So wait, what were we supposed to be looking at in the S&P? Somebody asked me something about S&P. I mean, S&P is pretty straightforward. You have the beginning of the range right there. You have this daily hold is hit here, so you're just simply moving up, right? You have this daily hold next. That's hit right there. Now you're just going to where that touches, and you go here. And has this hard close? I don't think so, right? It did, but isn't there also a weekly here? I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there's the weekly right here. So this is, you know, daily inside of a weekly. The weekly hasn't hard closed, which is fine. And that gets you just back to right here, that original hard close. Okay, so what are we looking at on the S&P? Not sure what we're looking at on the S&P, but that's okay. Weekly within a daily, probably. Like you've got a weekly range that starts right here, right? So don't hard close this, and then you probably have a daily inside of it. Weekly range, daily hold, you are. Daily hold inside the weekly range, combination level. Easy. Wonder how close it got. Oh, it's fine, it's still testing that weekly. So 46.37, 46.31, and the daily might actually have a wick. So actually technically the test is right here. Wick or body, it doesn't matter. It's all testing its interior range anyway, so it doesn't matter. Even if it tests the wick, it's fine. Mario Lo-Fi? I think I've seen it. Like, I think I've seen it when I check for Lo-Fi. It sounds like it would be good. And then someone wanted me to check gold. What am I looking for on gold? What are we looking at on gold? Interior ranges. Broke its origin. Up. What are we looking for on gold? I charted gold, I want to say about a month or two ago. When it was breaking this. Yeah, about a month or two ago. When it was trying to break this. And then that was like, you know, here's your origin level here. Close above it. Now you've got this right here, right? Possible origin in the future. Super chill. Mario Lo-Fi. Silver? I'll take a look at it. I don't know if I'm going to chart it, but I'll take a look at it. I remember charting silver way back in and around here. Yeah, we found this before that, like, whatever, like Reddit Wall Street's pump bullshit happened. There was, I remember that, like, yeah, January, February. I remember we charted this. It was a time frame inside of a time frame inside of a time frame, if I recall. Like it ends up being like the 4 hour on this, maybe. Daily, yeah, daily's here, and then I believe this was like a 4 hour backside, maybe somewhere. I want to say it was a 4 hour. I remember charting it at the time and saying, "Oh, this is the the local origin," and then it ended up being like another level as well. Since then, I haven't checked silver. Since it touched this level, I haven't checked. So what is there to look at on silver? Right, hold level. Got your hold levels already tested. Like this monthly's tested there, so now you're moving down to here, which is tested through. Now you're moving down to here, which is tested through. Now you're moving to here. Right. Body or wick, probably just something inside the range. All this stuff is always the same, and it's always so straightforward. Weekly here, no, but you also have the weekly backside here, so there's kind of both levels are here. I wonder if you have like a daily inside of that. So yeah, so really you'd be right here because this is the daily that connects everything. So you'd be at 30-40. Yeah, you'd be right here. And this is where you'd be. Pretty confident in that. We're gonna see. Auto. So close. So close. What did we miss? It was a monthly we started with, right? Monthly. Range, let's do this again. Maybe I missed something. I need to use a replayer tool. It's driving me nuts. Okay. Monthly range starts here. Okay. Monthly starts there. It's untested. Got weekly backside right there. No origins that broke the move down. You've got this right here. Doesn't really, it's not an origin. No origins there. Also got this right here. Daily. There's no weekly, right? What are we missing? Hold on. I'll be right back. Kiddo wanted to tell me lunch was ready. Okay. Where are we here? Okay, so we got the weekly, we got the monthly here. There's no weekly, right? Let's go back to the weekly, check that. No weekly. What did we miss? We missed something. You've got daily backside here, and it doesn't hit this. So what did we miss? Is there an origin somewhere that it had lost that we completely can't find? Now you have to go, so it can't be this. Nothing in here. Nothing in here, nothing in here. So it can be this. It can be this if this doesn't hard close. Hard closes, can't be that. So it can't be anything here. Can't be anything here at all. This, there's no test right there. Can't really be this. You got an origin here, but that's that same 30-40 level, right? Oh no, that's not. That's 30 cents and 40. So you've got an origin level here that causes the breakdown. I never use 12 hour and I'm not going to start right now. That's not an origin. This is on the 12. Origin right here. Origin right here. Is your first origin? No, this is your first origin. It was created right here. This is the very first origin. So this is the original level. And that's why we call them origins, because it's the original level, right? So we're going to go check the 4 hour here. Where was the original level created? Can't be this because it's hard closed, right? It can't be that. I refuse to believe it's a 12 hour. I don't care how nice this lines up. I refuse to believe it's a 12 hour. 4 hour origins are breaking here, right? Can it be this? Not really. Like, yeah, it can be, but not really. Not really. Like, I wouldn't consider this an origin. That's just, you know, base of a move. Level gets tested. Doesn't have any significant separation or well, it's not. You're not looking for separation. You're looking for the move to actually do certain time frame closes, which doesn't happen. It can be this. It can be this, but then you're back to $30.40. So you're really just like looking to find the exact moment, because monthly test, whether it's all the way inside of the range, and it can be all the way up here, right? Like it could be a hold level that's off of the range. So you could be all the way down into the range on the weekly right here. So that can exist anywhere from here to here. It exists anywhere from this weekly hold to the test of the monthly. You're just trying to risk assess the part of the move, right? Oh, we should talk about that risk assessment soon. The best you can get here is that 4 hour. Best you can get is that 4 hour level right here. It still tests within the monthly. It creates an origin. That's the point that breaks down the trade completely. You lose that level, the trade breaks down. All the origins in here. There was a 4 hour origin here and it was already broken here. So last you have your interior piece before you have a big breakdown. I would not have caught this in the moment. I can say that. Even if this is the level that was tested, I would have not caught it in the moment. So that's the origin right there. So we did miss it, which is fine. I would never have taken this. I would have went way deeper in this trade. I would never have taken this. There's no way. There's no way. So I would have missed that anyway. So that's okay. But at least we know where the level is, and it's pretty not so straightforward to find, but it's there. It's the origin level, right? It's the longest time frame origin level that's unbroken. It's the piece that actually holds. Yeah, anybody who ever dares like say that I took my content from somewhere else, watch my replays and tell me another person in the world who can chart like this. Because it's not even that I would have caught the level. It's that it just makes sense. It's the 4 hour origin. It's the only 4 hour origin on the chart. It doesn't mean I would have taken the level. Doesn't mean I wouldn't have risk assessed it into a deeper part of the move. But I mean, the thing about my science is that if the rules are true, they will always be true. Without fault. And the science never fails. It's the people that fail the science, right? But like it's there. It's your 4 hour origin side of the range, right? Boy, these like hot girl spams are getting real. It's like every 2 minutes there's like hot girl spam. Hot girls and hot boys. Don't ever stop doing this, thanks. He went to grab another Rockstar. Kiddo came in and told me there was lunch ready. If I learn how to read charts, I'm gonna actually be good. Yeah, I mean it's range within a range, right? Right? And so you're on your monthly. You know it's in this range because every other range is tested. Like if you go to your monthly charts, this is tested, right? So you go to this range right here. This is tested right there. You go to this range right here. That's tested right there. This is never tested. So it's very simple. It's what's going to stop the move. So the range starts from here all the way to the break of the move. So your range exists from here to here, and then your levels are inside of it. I would never have gone after this 4 hour. Well, it's not that I don't have to go after origins. I do all the time. Broken origins become huge points of polarity, but I would have just gone deeper in the move. I would have just gone for the weekly in the move, and if it doesn't hit, like, oh well, no big deal. Especially since this came up and tested first and just missed the trade. So I would have I would have decycled timeframes, and I would have went into here. So this is one that I would have missed. So then my trade would have existed somewhere between those two on a combo level. Straight up would have missed this. But the level's there. Very straightforward. Palladium? I have no idea. They'll use indicators, yeah. So it's not that crazy to take, William. We take origin levels all the time in mentorship. No, it's not that crazy to take. It's just personally, I like taking I use super high leverage when I trade, so I take like the greediest parts of the trade, but it's a perfectly reasonable spot to take that a lot of people would. Like a lot of people in mentorship are taking those origin spots, and I don't think it's that crazy. Yeah, I don't think it's that crazy. I just think for myself, because I use such big leverage, like I wouldn't be trading silver. I'd be trading the silver contract. Like what is it? CL1, I believe, is silver. No, that's crude oil. ZS1. God, it's that soybean. What's the silver's future? I don't even remember. Is it just silver's future? Is it just silver's? Where's the futures chart? What is the ticker for silver? Stop banning them. They're trying their hardest. Okay, man, I'll stop banning them, and then you guys are gonna see all that stuff. It's on you now. Next time we get that spam, I'm gonna switch to full screen and move so the clock flashes at the same time. Dude, ultra marketing strats. S1. Silver futures right here. Never really traded silver. I mean, if the opportunity was there, but I'd have to know more about the contract. I have a feeling this is not it. What do I think of NFTs? Not much. What do you think of NFTs? What does the community think of NFTs? I mean, I'll give my take on them, but you guys aren't going to like it if you're a fan of NFTs. I can tell you that. I think all these NFT games that are coming out, I think NFTs and video games are stupid. I think it's Ubisoft. Ubisoft now is putting NFTs in their games in the future. I think this is the dumbest and easiest cash money grab that they could have ever thought of. NFT is such a stupid thing. And games where you earn NFT money, like games where you earn NFT tokens or things like that. Like I know there's some games, like video games have to be fun. And as soon as you start monetizing them and giving them like a financial directive like that, you take all the fun out of video games. So like, it's like creating a car out of milk jugs. Like it might be a good idea in your brain, but like, okay, dude. I don't know how long those milk jug cars are gonna last. You know what I mean? Big fan of NFTs. Useless. $29,865 daily candle. But it has to be the right daily candle. It can't just be any daily candle. Like, it'd have to make sense data architecture-wise. If you're talking about this right here. So there's the backside of the move, which is at 3403, which is what I first thought it was going to go after. And then there's the body of it right here, which it really can't hard close. So you'd use this as a define. Like, you'd use this against the defining metric against this. So, like, you could get into a scenario where you go up to the 4-hour origin, you're above the daily, that's fine. And if it starts doing this and creating like this little kind of like interior cycle like that, the problem with this is that you can use the daily as a post-analytic metric to say that, okay, because there's like a couple different things that can happen, right? Like you go up to this 4-hour origin. I was like, oh man, I got the perfect short, blah, blah, blah. But as time goes on through the day, not realizing you're actually hard closing this daily could be detrimental. So this 4-hour origin pretty much has to have like a massive rejection, because otherwise, if you start creating this like little interior range, like the only thing you're going to end up doing is hard closing this daily, which you cannot do. So, and they're 4-hour candles. So it's not going to, you know, like, what is that? 4, 12, 8, 16, 20, 24, 6, 12 candles. But then it depends on what time of the day it's happening. And then so say it's only 7 candles because it happens right at the end of the daily clock. So then you hit this 4-hour origin, you've got 7 4-hour candles. And if they're kind of floating around here trying to create some like little, what may look like a distribution trend, you're actually hard closing this. And then the whole move is cooked. And then you just fly out of the origin. So you could use the daily here. Like, I would agree, actually. I would have been more likely to take the daily than the 4-hour origin, but I wouldn't have taken either because I would have been in the weekly range looking for leverage. But then at least here, by doing this, you can use this as like post-analytic event data to say like, okay, at least I have to hard close under this. And then if you start creating a cycle down here, then that's fine. So yeah, really this daily is good as you know, risk assessment metrics. But then, yeah, really you have to do this, right? Like you go the daily and then you have to pretty much fall right down. Like you would need this thing to come down pretty quick. Like you'd be at the risk of, you know, this thing moves up and then you can even start going down into time frames and seeing where these hold levels are created. Like this one is a little scary here. I'm surprised this one doesn't do anything, right? Because you have this hold level here under the daily. This one breaks it. So now you don't have much left. Maybe you have an hourly hold level inside of that range. So you do. So you deep the hourly range right there. You go deep into that hourly range. And luckily you end up holding that and then it just holds back that backside hourly range. But yeah, you don't have too much time there on that trade. Like you really need to do exactly this. You cannot start creating, you know, a cycle above this daily, because then you're just very common sense, right? Like, oh, go deeper in the move, hit the 4-hour origin, and it starts to create like a little accumulation cycle in here. And most people will be like, oh yeah, good, we got the perfect buy. It just needs a little bit of time. Yeah, a little bit of time is going to break the goddamn move because you're closing the daily and it's going to fly out of its mind, right? So NFTs are useless to me. So I don't really see a use case for NFTs yet in the world. Maybe in logistics with marketing. I could see like a marketing case for NFTs. Pay to win is a different issue than NFTs. Tell that to Lost Ark. Yeah, Lost Ark looked like a cool game, but I mean, NFTs are hype right now, and it's an investment form. So if people are doing well on NFTs and investing, I would just say the same thing about real estate. Dude, man, like I just bought a house, you know, 2 years ago, and I sold it for, you know, a huge profit. It's the same thing as NFTs, right? What's the difference? An investment is an investment. So if you're making your money on NFTs, all the power to you. But and that's great. I'm happy for you. I think that's a really awesome way to invest money. And I think, you know, to have that foresight into NFTs and to be able to trade them based on the market. Like obviously NFTs dump when Bitcoin dumps. It's straightforward. And then, oh God, hot boys and girls are back. So that's great, right? But you know, the problem is that they're volatile, to say the least. They're volatile, to say the least. Elon bought 10%. I already checked the TA. It hit a daily level. You know, it's not like Elon Musk is a stupid guy, okay? And it's not like he has the time to day trade. Anybody running Elon Musk's money is got like very, very good trading knowledge. He's hiring like one of the best, an underground trader, like somebody like me who's, you know, completely underground. It doesn't share the knowledge. He's hiring someone like that, and they're making like it hits the daily hold level perfectly. Like the sciences are the sciences. Like you've got a monthly hold level right here and a daily range inside of it. Like it's not news. It's not, oh, it pumped because of news. Anybody buying that is just a sheep. What day did Elon announce that he bought shares? Because, you know, in order to buy 10% of Twitter, you know, it takes time. Like it would take a bulk of time to buy that. Right? You can't just put one big order on the book. Like you have to do incremental buys, right? Like it would take time. What's the date stamp that he bought it? Wasn't it like the 3rd or something? April 3rd? He's not like... You think he's buying and then 1 minute later tweeting out like, oh, hey guys, I just bought all this Twitter. No, he has to go through his marketing team. He has to go to legal. He has to sign contracts. Like that shit takes like a week or 2 weeks. I don't use indicators, dude. People who use indicators are not my kind of people, if you know what I'm saying. Remember last February when we said if DXY holds this, right? Like December, January, February. Remember when we said if DXY holds this, it's going to pump like crazy? Look at that. Look at that, pumpers, right? Huh? I have no idea why someone enters that. I don't know, you know, marketing bots or whatever. Let's see who's in Teams channels right now. Let's see who's in Teams. Originals are there. Maybe we should go talk to Originals. Go see what's up with them. Yeah, I mean, stocks are still going to fall a little bit. Not too much, but like you're going to expect stocks to fall a little bit. Yeah, I mean, S&P just hit its level, right? I think it was a daily, right? S&P just hit its daily level. It's going to try to see if it can stabilize its move. If it stabilizes here, like this is a daily backside right here, right? Like daily backside. If it stabilizes this, we're good, man. Stocks are going to start like juicing up. I think it already hit this weekly, if I remember correctly. No, it didn't hit the weekly, so it's still like daily backside and then another part of the range down in here. GPS is the only indicator we use. I would recommend going to the remastered course and then going back to Future of Trading original. People swear by the original. Everybody I tell to take the remastered says it's good, and then they watch the original and they're like, yeah, no substitution. Have to go watch the original. So I don't know. I would personally watch the original. You can watch remastered, helps you quickly get through the material in a way that you can, you know, make those quick decisions. But yeah. Oh, you know what we're gonna do? Okay, we're gonna go through some cotton training 101 right now. So like, do whatever you got to do to pay attention here, because we're going to go through a little bit of content training. Okay. Little bit of content training. Okay. We have different parts of our charts. Have you ever played Elden Ring? Nope, not interested. The only game I'm interested in playing is maybe some new MMOs that might come out. There's nothing on my, maybe like Ashes of Creation if it ends up being a cool game. But the only game I really kind of want to get into is an MMO right now. I don't even have time to play games, but if I was, it wouldn't be anything like Warzone or Valorant anymore. I'm too far gone on those. Like I just don't have the want to play those kind of first-person shooters anymore. Like Escape from Tarkov was the last one I played, and I don't even have the time. Like it's such a time sink. And so is an MMO, but at least an MMO, like I don't have to try hard. Like I can be, you know, a tier 1 MMO player with relatively, maybe not even tier 1, maybe like tier 1 B class, like B tier, not like S tier tier 1, but you know, maybe like a S tier tier 2 player kind of thing. I could be relatively good. I played a lot of MMOs in my life. I could be good without having to try too hard. Meanwhile, not being ultra sweaty, which is no problem with that. I used to be ultra sweaty on some MMOs, but you know, I'd really just be interested in something that's got a little bit more depth than something like New World. New World was cool, but it was really linear and forced like team play, and if you don't do team play, it's just like a grinding out of your mind. It felt like an overseas MMO. It was just crazy grind at a certain point. MMO was, or New World was okay, but nothing that great. But yeah, I mean AOC, maybe if AOC comes out, it's gonna look and it's good, maybe I'll pick that up and play that on stream or something. But I don't really have too much time these days. I'm so busy with other things. So okay, learning time. We have different parts of the charts. We have technical analysis, which is the umbrella to everything on the charts. We also have procedural analysis, right? Procedural analysis is the execution layer, blueprint, the stuff that you do before any trades happen. So procedural analysis is this leg of a trade, right? Prior to the trade happening, you have procedural analysis. You have comparative analysis, which is this leg of a trade, right? You have comparative analysis, which is butterfly effect. You know, hold level gets created and it develops like this little thing, and you have a hold level. And that's comparative analysis, the architecture of the chart that's hasn't been developed on the chart yet. And simply why I call it comparative analysis is because comparatively those events haven't happened yet. So you have to compare the current events to what's happening to create comparative analysis. It's the backbone of butterfly effect. It always has been comparative analysis. So we created that a long time ago, and I always understood that, you know, it's a chart architecture that develops to create hold levels and things like that. So in a trade where you catch a knife, right, you'd have or any trade that moves up, any single candlestick that moves up and down, like, you know, up and down, right, like up, down, and then up. You have two legs of the trade: the events that happen before the trade and the events that happen after the trade. So you very much have to see procedural analysis as the execution layer, things that are happening before the chart. So this is a really important distinction to make, that technical analysis is just the umbrella of what we do. It's like the original term. It's like saying cars are made with steel. Yes, they were first built with metals and steel. Actually, they were probably first built with like wood. now that I think about it. But, you know, technical analysis, yes, it's like the steel or the wood of cars. It's what they were first built with. But then through time, electronics get introduced to them, and, you know, lighter metals and alloys and, you know, technologies, GPS data. You have all these layers that get added onto cars. Same thing, right? Technical analysis has always been there. But then comparative and procedural are, you know, the two layers that I created. And then now working with RA, which is risk assessment, is the layer of trading that encompasses both procedural and comparative and ties it together. Like risk assessment and RA, why I release the risk guide is because it's all part of butterfly effect 2 that comes out, is to where you have the events that happen before the trade, procedural analysis, the leg of the move before it happens, the decisions you make, the execution layer, how you would procedurally generate information and data to better understand the moments that can happen in a trade, and then the moments that happen thereafter, which is the really high focused comparative moments, why PA and CA, right? Now RA is the new term introduced in butterfly effect 2, and again why I created a risk guide, because risk assessment, actually RA encompasses both layers. And in the risk assessment guide, you'll see where you have a ranking system and you have to understand where the risk lies in a range prior to that trade happening. So inside of procedural analysis, you assess the risk of a trade and what happens at those deeper moments, or like I just said with, what was it, gold? I guess it was it gold or something? I said I would have taken the weekly range, yet it hits the 4 hour. It's all part of assessing the risk in the trade and how deep inside of a range it can go. And then risk assessment happens prior to a trade, but it also happens during a trade as to where you're creating shields and time bombs in a trade. So the part of risk assessment that can't exist until comparative assessment exists is developing shields in the trade and time bombs based on the risk that was assumed prior to the trade. So it's really interesting because when you look at the whole grand schematic, and you know, when I started drawing out the templates for all this stuff, you look at the whole risk schematic, and risk assessment is a layer that connects procedural and comparative, and why my courses are kind of structured the way they are. You know, technical analysis being where it all starts, and it's just like the wood and steel of a car before everything, all the fancy stuff gets added. And technical analysis is where it was first created, and procedural is the leg of a trade that we look at before, and that's why Blueprint first came out before Butterfly Effect, and why Future of Trading came out before Blueprint, because Future of Trading is technical analysis. Procedural analysis ends up being the execution layer and Blueprint, and then comparative analysis becomes Butterfly Effect, and then risk assessment starts to tie those layers together as the first piece that can intersect between procedural and comparative, allowing a bridge between the two pieces of PA and CA. And that bridge between those two pieces really starts to answer the questions like, how long should I be in a trade, and like, you know, at what point is it not worth it to stay in a trade, and how do we assess which trade to take when we have so many levels, and then so RA really encompasses both layers of PA and CA, which is just an umbrella of technical analysis. And why, you know, back when I first created all this stuff, and like there's a reason Future of Trading came out first, and then Blueprint, and then Butterfly, and now Butterfly Effect 2, where I introduced risk assessment. Like, it's not just something that is just thought about in the moment. It's, you know, a whole formula that works together. So this is interesting because RA now becomes a critical anchoring point or a foundation to that, you know, that technical analysis, or, you know, where you have procedural and comparative, and they're a bit disconnected in origin, but risk assessment becomes kind of your anchoring or ground layer that connects everything. Speak on time bombs, go watch the RA video. You'll find out about time bombs. BTC is dumping. Did it lose its level? Yep. That lost that level. Which did it lose? It lost that 5-minute level, right? 5-minute level here. Probably hard close this 1 minute, and then it was just gonzos. Yeah, that's that close right there. Just gone after that 1 minute is lost. Test that 1 minute back, loses its ladder. Right? And she's gone. Yeah, like I said earlier, like Bitcoin is still dumping. There's no reason to, you know, you create a 5-minute hold level, and that's great. It's the first part of a move, but, you know, overall, because somebody said if it goes to 42K, they lose their entire account. But like that shouldn't be a thing, because it's going to go much. It's going to go much lower than 42K. Not certain, you know, the certain events have to happen first, but you know, if just logically speaking, it really needs to test down into this lower marquee here. Just trying to straight up hold the highest part of a weekly range is pretty crazy. How low did this thing go? So just almost testing the daily, but it basically is testing the daily here. But that's not even, like, imagine having a range this big. you know, from here to the break level of the move here, which is possibly onset by a lower time frame origin even back here. So it could maybe even go deeper to an origin that maybe exists back in here somewhere. Maybe it exists even back in this candle, that origin. So like if your range can conceivably exist from the top of the weekly test, maybe all the way down to an origin, which represents still laddering the move. Like imagine it stuff like 42K is dangerous. 42K to hold a 42K with like opium in your eyes, dude, man, that's dangerous. You know, like that's whoa. I don't know, man. That's a juicy take. That's a rock star take right there. Know what I'm saying? Indicators make life simpler instead of doing work. No, indicators are useless. But use them if you want, for sure, dude. use those indicators if you want, man. Like, okay. Because I don't want to pick on any one person. So Arun, I will put it like this. Somebody else in the future will say this in chat, so we'll talk about them. Is that Arun who said that? Let me get this straight. We need people to feed the markets money. We need bad money in the markets, and indicators create bad money, no matter what the indicator is. Indicators are flawed just from the basis origin, and anybody who doesn't understand this shouldn't be trading. Or actually, they should be trading, because actually we need bad money in the markets. It makes it easier. It makes it so that things are like very predictable, and there's an availability of volume that gets created off these indicators. So let's just, in a blanket term, talk about, now we're not even going to go quant, which is just mixing indicators. Let's just talk about an indicator. It is taking data from the tops and bottoms of charts here and here and creating average points off of data, no matter what the indicator is. That's how they work. If you want to trade average points, you are going to be the victim of this shark and this shark, which is okay. The ocean needs to be fed. It's all a part of the ecosystem. It's okay. But, you know, if you want to be the shark, if you want to eat the minnows, you have the wrong set of fins on if you are using indicators. You know what I'm saying? You catch my drift? We're gonna go into team soon. We're gonna go into team soon. You need one indicator at the very least. Yeah, we need people using indicators, man. So I'm not saying Arun is a sheep. I am trying to prove a point. Let's stay focused, okay? I'm trying to prove a point. It has nothing to do with Arun. There is lots of misguided people in our markets. Great to see you, Quantum. Handsome. Thanks, Francisco. Handsome, huh? I'll take it. Okay, thank you, man. Listen, I'm going to say something. Many of you out there were using indicators once upon a time. So we educate to get better, right? Astrology indicator. Yes. Old joke from Twitch. Yep. How did you start to develop the science? I have a video on it, how I reverse engineered the markets, Leo. It goes into a whole life story. Arun is good stuff. We only try to help people get better at this thing, not worse. Let's check in on some teams. Who's TA Mafia is on, the originals are on. Okay. I have a secret team. Team Arcane is trading, but I don't have their visuals yet, so we're not going to go Team Arcane. I would love to check what they're doing. Man, would that ever be hype. Oh, Team Arcane, why aren't your visuals ready? I want to see what you guys are doing. These guys have made like some stupid amount of money this week, cumulatively 500%. We're actually a piranha 2 days ago, red piranha. Team Arcane, man, I wish you guys had your visuals. I know you got them to me today, just a little too late, but god damn it, because they're live trading right now. I would have loved to see. Let's go check in on the originals. Let's go check on. They got a full squad. They're probably doing crazy stuff. Let's check on the originals. and see what they're doing.
Hey, good afternoon.
What's up?
Having a blast watching
It's
you
all
get
good,
down, man.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
watching and you're speaking like at the same time, two platforms, so it's weird. Actually, how much delay is the YouTube stream? Yeah, no worries.
Let me add this. Okay, good. Now we got my audio as well. Yeah, so Team Originals is pretty they're a pretty good team. Like we got, so Team Originals came to me and went to Naya first, did that whole thing, and then I saw the roster and I was like, okay, saw their team and I was like, yeah, these guys are pretty crazy, man. Like this is going to be a pretty stacked team. I think all the teams that have come through are pretty good, but I was pleasantly surprised to see this group of people like Alien Pockets, Crystal, B Block, D's, Lasty. Actually, these are all like highly active, great people in the community. Like this is like this is like team community. If there was a team that represents the like team community, it would be these guys. Like this is like a crazy team.
We appreciate that. Try to help out.
Do what we can.
So are you guys trading today? What are you guys up to today?
We were just in that trade that went south a second ago.
Aha. So you guys were maybe
For minute reverse, we tried.
yeah, okay.
If it can hold for longer, but was not the case this time.
No.
We had a good one earlier though.
Was it like a short from earlier? I'm just trying to set the stream up at the same time as we're talking here. So we don't have a screen on the right side, but yeah. So you guys maybe got into a good trade earlier, like a short or something like that?
Should have been in the short coming back down, but caught the long on the way up last time.
Okay.
My idea was to long the two inverse levels to take the 0.5 and 0.4, but the team has a swing strategy. So yeah, they stayed too long in the trade.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Xtra is always taking like 0.4.
0.4. Okay, yeah.
Like I don't know how much percentage you made in the past days. You're making a lot. I mean, he's not trading with a lot, but he's always taking the profits. So
it's good. But so he had a good take. Okay, so he uses kind of a thing where it's like 0.4. So like leverage trading?
Yes.
Okay.
Depending of the risk management.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Using like RA and leverage trading. Okay, yeah.
$2 profit and he's out.
Nice. But missing the bigger trades, but just kind of constantly getting the smaller trades firing on a regular basis.
Yeah, we've been really trying to focus on risk assessment. Crystal and I were talking about it this morning. Like we're working on time bombs, but we don't really have the exact formula for how long to stay. Like we're guessing like 5 candles per time frame. You're just kind of estimating like how long we've got in the trades. That was something that he's not able to make it tonight, but something he wanted to ask about.
Okay, I can maybe fill in some blanks there.
Yeah, that'd be great. You mentioned the other night something about some risk assessment resources. Those would be awesome.
Yeah, so right now, how are you guys managing your time bombs and trades? Like what exactly are you doing? I can give a few quick pointers on that here to better help you guys tackle that. So walk me through your process right now. Like what do you guys, how are you managing it right now?
For the 1 minute reverse we created a 5-minute range trend, and that was like the exit point at that time for me. Actually, for the stop loss I put there, but I was like checking the shields too. There was 1 minute, try to protect it for a long time.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. Then it went to the 5-minute range trend. It bounced once, but then it didn't hold. So that was like my take on it, to stay in. If that 5-minute range trend cannot hold, then
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go out. But usually I'm looking at hard closes, range trends, or like small time frame, normal trends. But with the time bomb, actually, I'm still struggling. I'm learning that part.
Okay, so then you
So
guys,
if you can go deep on that, it would be nice.
so start here. Are you watching my screen right now on stream?
Can you share your screen in Discord?
up,
Because I have problems too.
Probably not,
the
because it's
same
going to
time.
cause some bandwidth issues.
Okay, no worries. Then I turn to the TV.
Yeah, yeah.
I can see fine on YouTube.
Yeah, okay. So then what you're going to want to do for time bombs, like you get into a whole thing, and the first layer of time bombs is you get into this whole thing where marking out them properly is like the biggest part of it, right? Like you have to have your polarized moments marked out properly. You know, you start risk assessing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and they all have a very interesting way in which they interact. So the first thing you have to do is you have to find the right polarized moments. Like I go down here, and I think this origin 4 hour right here is super polarized, right? So like at this point I would, you know, mark this a 10, because I'm saying like this is like hyper polarized. And then you can get into subgroups, which we won't get into, but you can get into subgroups of inside of that range, like a range inside of range. But you can get into subgroups here, and then you have to build above that, right? So like finding your polarity is like key, number one. And now I haven't done too much work on this chart in terms of finding that polarity, so we're just going to use this as an example. And then like this would be a 9, for example, because it's just the next level I have on my chart. And then this would be an 8. Again, I would do a lot more work than this, but I'm just using the levels that are present on my screen. This would be a 7. Like if you don't mark the right levels, or if you don't find the actual real polarity point, problem is everything below it is going to be broken. So like, for example, if you didn't have this and this was your 10, like every time frame below it will be broken because you've misidentified the very first and most important part of polarity. Then you also have subgroups of what polarity goes into, which is more butterfly effect 2 stuff. But yeah, identifying this first is key. And then the time you're going to be in that trade, I'll give you a very simple formula. Okay. You kind of go like this, 10 minute, like the 10 and the 9 minute become your kind of most important time frames in a way. Just because they kind of are the first pieces that develop a move. Like by the time you have an 8 being hit or established, like you've got a lot of time underneath the 50. It gives you enough time to develop 15-minute levels, 5-minute levels. Like the trade is kind of already gone, right? So 10 trails up to these 3 time frames, 1, 3, 5, making it so that you can be in this for like say 3 to 6 minutes max. So if you hit like a super polarized point, you've got 3 to 6 minutes to be in there, and that's it. And then so basically after that you're just trailing time frames up like that. So then the 9 connects to the 15, the 8 connects to the 4, 7 connects to the daily. So all you're doing is number by number, you're just bulking time frames. So 1, 3, 5 is your first, 15. Oh, did I miss one here? I missed one. Hold on. 8 would be the hourly. 7 would be the 4. I missed the hourly, sorry. And then a 6, this one would go to your daily, right? And that just gives you like a very easy and quick way to formulate fast on the spot where your time frames are, how much time you actually need, right? So that shows you how much time you actually need. So like, for example, this was pretty polarized earlier in the day. Like the 1 minute is polarity on this. Like we already knew that. We've been talking about that on stream, and you know, people are taking this trade and that level is marked out. Let's go find that. Wait, where am I going here? I lost the move. Yeah, let's try that again. Okay, we are looking right here. I'm gonna use a replayer tool for this so I don't go completely somewhere else where I'm not supposed to be going. Okay, so we're gonna use the 1 minute here. So this would like the hyper polarized moment, right? Like this is kind of the final level in the move, right? So you've got like a 10 here, right? You got 10 here. We're gonna color this white. It's just the final moment. And then if we take this replayer tool off, you know that you have, as a 10 out of 10, you have somewhere between 3 to 6 minutes to develop a move. So 6 minutes would be more on the side of, oh, I really think this thing is going to hold let's give it 6 minutes, and 3 minutes being like, okay, I have to develop something in that time frame. So then you go back to here, and even that very first touch of that, you know this is a 10 out of 10. Like the time bomb is a 10, so it only gives you a few minutes for something to actually develop. You have to start creating shields at that point, right? Like PA happens here because we haven't actually hit this trade yet. So procedural analysis happens here. Like you're saying, okay, this is a 10 out of 10. You could even go like this, go text coordinates bottom right, so we can see it now. This is a 10 out of 10 for your polarity. PA layer, we know that we've already ranked that as a 10. So we know that we have somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes before a shield has to develop, before it just becomes too risky to stay in this trade. So as time goes on, you go down into this trade. You went to the trade, time bomb's activated. You have now a very small window to start creating time frames. So 1 minute has passed, 2 minutes has passed, 3 minutes has passed. Okay, now if we can hard close over this, you've got it. 4 minutes passed, good. Your time bomb is now released. You have a shield on your trade. Your good time bomb is good to take that away, right? You're saying now you have a shield in the trade because that time bomb has been able to develop something in the move. You can now start going to your 3 and your 5, and that's where you mark the 3 here. You mark the 5, nothing yet. We can put that level back actually. So then you're in your trade, and you're good because now you have your shield in the trade. Let's keep going in this trade, because I know we hit this level again, so we're just going to go straight to that. Here's another hit on it. It's still a 10 out of 10 polarity. You now are back in that same scenario. We have 3 to 6 minutes, right? Like 3 minutes if you're like, oh my god, it's like so close to breaking. And I think this one's okay if it went way down here and you know, way under the level and deep dove something else in the chart, and it's still 10, but it's not hard closing. It's kind of fighting around here. I would use more of a 3 minute time frame, but this is fine. You could use like 6 minutes here, I think. So you've got 1, 2, you really need to get over this level, right? You really need to develop some kind of shield here. 1, 2, 3, it's not looking good. You have to develop a shield in the first 6 minutes. Or do we have that 5 minute here? We do actually have that 5 minute that could be developed right here. We've got like 4 minutes. You could maybe even use 7 if you really wanted to. 5, 6, that's your last candle. But it actually develops what you need in that shield because you've actually got 6 candles. So that's like right at the end. This was like the last candle, and that's how you're going to use your time bomb. And then if you rank this a 9, what you would do if this was assessed at a 9 out of 10 risk, now you're not using 3 to 5 minutes. Now you're actually using, you know, if this was a 9, you're actually using your 15-minute time frame, right? Because it's that 10 that connects to these 3. But that's a way you can use time bombs to decide how long you need to be in that trade. Because you got 1 minute here. You could even count this first candle: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this is it. This is the last candle. If you haven't developed something yet after this candle, the trade is becoming too risky, and you just simply need to get out. It's as easy as that, right? Like, so it gives you procedurally, you can rank the trade, and then it also tells you how much time you have in the trade to let something develop. Therefore, connecting your comparative analysis, which is this side of the chart, to your procedural analysis as to where this side you would rank the risk, and this side you would have that comparative analysis, develop your shields and trigger points, right? So now you're in the trade, and it's like you have move development, so you can stay in the trade. Otherwise, if you just kind of stayed around this price, you need to get out, regardless if it like looks good or feels good intuitively. It's like the risk is too high. The risk is now starting to become something where the amount of times you're going to lose that trade versus take a winning trade there is very, very low. Like the risk is way too high, even if it looks and feels good. It's like, unless there's some other reason to stay, like a 15-minute time frame got developed because the candle just so happened to be like, this is at like 10:35, but imagine if it was at like 10:29. Okay, and then so it can create like a 15-minute hold level just because of like a nuance in timing. Sure, then you can justify that. But then again, you know, 1 minute candle, a 15-minute range is going to be a pretty large variation there.
Yes, thank you very much for the help.
Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's something that you guys can use going forward.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people probably have issues, and putting it on stream will help a lot of people.
Yeah, and that really gets into like butterfly effect 2 stuff. Yeah, it really gets into butterfly effect. Sorry, go ahead, Lassie.
Our team is like split up to people who likes to swing trade, like me, myself, and there is like guys who are taking all the small scalps like successfully, which is like extra.
Yeah.
So we are like good. It's good that we are spending like now a lot of time together, so we can learn from each other these kind of techniques.
Yeah, and I
So
think
it's really
that's
helpful.
yeah, and I think that's a big part of like your team operation, right? So working together in that group and finding where you find your success and stride, right? Like I think that's like a huge part of that teamwork, because you're gonna kind of have those roadblocks as you first start, but as soon as you iron out those bumps, it's going to become like a pretty good machine that gets run, right?
Yeah, I would encourage like everyone to
Yep.
sign up for this kind of teams or just trading teams, because everybody's good at something. So putting together,
Yeah.
it's gonna make it just developing, and make it like a good trader.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So-
trading by yourself versus having people to bounce all your ideas off of and stuff definitely kind of helps you concrete your ideas and where you're at, figure that all out. So it's good.
Yep.
And kind of in that same lane, Cotton, I was wondering, like, what would you recommend for structuring team? Like, if you were to build the perfect trading team, like, how would you assign roles, and like, what kind of, like, even like what kind of trainings and what kind of practices, and like we were talking, like, B Block used to play some professional esports, so he and
Yep.
I were talking this morning about how to battle tackle the problem with drilling and practicing and then live training, and I just
Mhm.
wanted to get your thoughts on that if possible.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool question. I think esports has a lot of nuances that are shared in day trading. It's just nobody has kind of taken that bridge yet. I think that's a really good way to start thinking about it, like creating teams and structure. You said something interesting. If I was to create a team, I did create a team, but I waited.
I was kind of afraid you would say that.
I created a secret kill squad, and I waited, but let's hear me out. Hold on. I was fair about it, okay? I waited for a full week for everybody to kind of find. I never told anybody I had my own kind of like kill team, right? Like it's a secret team. I waited a week because I didn't want to cherry pick from the server. I wanted to get the people who I wanted, and I was like hoping that they wouldn't go on teams, and most of them didn't. There are some, I won't say who, and they're on current teams right now, maybe even this team. Again, I won't say who, but there were some that I'm like, God darn it, why did he go on a team? I was hoping, because I didn't want to be unfair, because I thought that would be not fair to do, like, just pick from the best, right? So I waited a week. I waited for the team. Yeah, I waited for it to be developed, and I had a list of about 8 people, and most of them got picked up except for 4, and the 4 remaining were right on my list. And then it's like I got 4 of them, and I'm still looking for one more member. We're looking for another member or 2. It's their team, but I'm got some people that I thought would work really good together. So I was fair about it. I let everybody pick up any members they want without any interference. But after a week, I kind of said, like, okay, time for me to make a team. And
appreciate your generosity at work.
I don't want to be unfair, right? Like that's kind of bad, right? You cherry pick from the server, and it's like, oh, okay, what's the point of even having teams, right? Like, because then
I think we're still going to be competitive, though.
Oh yeah. I think Originals is going to be one of. I think all of the 6 teams, I really wouldn't put favoritism. Even my team, as good as they are, like I've seen what Arcane has done. I've seen how organized you guys are. I know the potential on my team. We got another team called Enigma, who's like just pretty stacked and really great balance. I don't think there's one team that's a favorite. Like I think it's all very even grounds, and I think it's going to be really cool when I start having these events like races, and we're going to do like profit races all at the same time, like little tournaments, profit races. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. And the way I would structure the team is, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the Discord next week doing this, creating a bunch of different resources. I would start finding ways to see who is good at what, because when you start to boil down taking trades, what you want to do is you want to maximize the amount of trades to get into, because you really want to just amplify money. Like that's the point. Amplify money, right? Like just grow stacks of cash. And to do that, you need to have different people. Like maybe I would put some people on stock markets, some people on crypto, and then Arcane does something interesting, which I agree with. And I had thought the same thing before they showed me. They have a way different elaborate system that's like crazy. So I won't share too much of what they do, but like I would just have people from the stocks team and the crypto team kind of go back and forth to rotate it out and verify ideas. So I would create kind of 2 groups so that you can tackle multiple trades at once, and then just get people rotating in and out of groups very dynamically, fresh minds, fresh eyes. And I would do it like that. So I would have like 2 people who are really good at doing RA. I would have 2 people who are really good at doing CA, and then I would have them kind of both take points of the chart. Like the person who's doing CA, I would say like, okay, okay, like have the RA person do the risk assessment and say they analyze all that back half of the chart, like what I'm drawing on my screen right now, and then have another person completely differently watching what they're marking and then start figuring out the scenarios that would happen procedurally, or not from the procedural entry, comparatively what would happen. Like, oh, it hit this level, I think it's going to do this, it could deep dive that, it could do this. So you kind of have two people working one of each side of the chart, and then one person back and forth being that bridge connector, eyes on it, swapping back and forth between teams, deciding when the right entry is, just to make sure nobody's missing anything. So one person to oversight two people. Why I did it for 6 people teams? Because there's PA, CA, and RA. So you can have RA and PA are done by the same person because it's all like kind of the pre-entry, and then RA and CA are done by the same person, and then one person to overlook and go back and forth between teams. So I'd break it into 2 subgroups, and I would start having, and then swap those roles to see where people are strong and bad, right? Like swap those roles. That's how I would do it. One person here, and one person looking at the whole thing who can then go and swap to the other team.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Yep.
Also, this scene you made looks epic, man.
Oh yeah, the pixel art. Yeah. Well, I can't take credit for the all the art. It's not all mine, but some of it is. Yeah. It's awesome. And your guys' team logo looks like BA as hell on this.
Shout out to Dr. D's for that one.
Yeah, Dr. D's.
Yeah, he put in a lot of work on this. Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, your icons look killer.
2 takes, which is not so related to teams, but like I'm sure we take one of your picks. Can you confirm?
One of my picks?
Yeah, he said he did. We did.
Take one of my picks.
You
for
mean
your team.
I mean picks from your perfect team.
Oh, I thought we were talking about logos. I'm like, what did you take from me? I don't see anything here.
No. Just like 2 topics before.
I know Extra was terrified you were going to take one of our guys.
There was one person, yes,
Yeah,
and possibly more than one person.
Oh,
As a minimum answer to that question, I will answer your question. Was there one? There was at least one person from this squad. Because I know everybody's going to be thinking of one specific person. I will just say there was, answer your question, yes, there was at least one person. And I'll just add that word at least.
And also, I would like to share with you because last time you streamed, like 1 year ago or something like that.
Yeah.
You were sharing the stock chart, and
Yep.
you were showing a level at Voyager,
Yeah.
which I still have. Did you see like how that trade went?
Which chart?
Stock charts, Voyager.
Well, yeah, I did. It popped
You
off.
see?
Did you take that trade?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, dude. I saw this and I was like,
On
you
the
took
spot,
this
but
trade?
like 200%.
Dude, that's so good. Yeah. We're talking about this level down here, right? Like I was talking about this Voyager chart. Like when I first did Voyager, it would have been back like before I stopped streaming. So this would have went all the way back to January of 2020. So we would have been like, 2021. Sorry. So we would have been
even
in
the
and
first
around.
Bounce, it was before the first bounce.
Yeah. So we would have been back here like December, January when I was talking about Voyager, because I wanted to get into Voyager, but I wanted to get in at $3, and then I did my little secret trading that I don't show anybody how to do, like tops and bottoms. So I did a bunch of stuff here off screen, and then I came on stream and said, like 286 would be. So that's the trade you took.
296 actually. I think.
290. That doesn't matter, dude. That's a great trade. You
Yeah,
made 200% on it. Good job, dude.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I think it so it hit that level perfectly, hit this one perfectly. Ended up going down a little bit, went straight to trend, and then it broke up and just ripped, right? Like it went to like $9 or something like that.
Did it ever get down to 3?
Down to $3? Yeah, it broke down to 280 something.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. That's
And
extra that
just
took that? That was
seeing
extra.
it to hype
That was
up,
Lasty.
Proud.
Lasty, okay, yeah. Dude, that's so cool, man. Well, I'm happy that you took the chance on that. I don't know who else took that trade, but man, that's so cool. I love that.
And I appreciate it.
People in chat are saying it's Crystal. It has to be. Don't be so sure. I'm only saying the word at least one.
Crystal
My
is not
team-
here, guys, if you don't.
He's a pretty good guy, that Crystal.
Crystal's dope as hell. Crystal's amazing. Don't be so
Older
certain,
kid.
guys. Like on my team, my secret team, We're called TA Mafia. It's a throwback to the old streams, and I have people in there who are just like members that don't often talk, but I've watched them very closely. It's not just like a bunch of mentees in my group, although there are some. Yeah. So
You've
what's
seen,
next? What's next
Aricode?
for your
Sorry.
team? No, I was just gonna say, what's next for your guys' team now? So this weekend, you guys are gonna be working on trading, and then you guys wanted to do some kind of different community events or something for like, I'm not sure. What do you guys have planned in the upcoming weeks?
We were hoping to be able to take lessons and break them down and offer like 30-minute jump starts, just really hitting the subject hard and offering that up to, this is part of where we would need more resources and information, but whatever we could do to do like heavy hitting, just really focused energy, like, hey, a 20-minute class with extra on origins, boom, it's gonna be here and there.
That'd be great. So do you want to do it on like YouTube, or do you want to just do it for the community, like a private server host kind of thing? Like, how do you want to do it?
I think we were just talking about, in your community, but I'm happy to go on YouTube. You know me.
Whatever you guys think, you guys let me know how you want to do it, and we'll toss the resources. If it's a community only, like I can host it behind something on my end, and then we give access on Patreon to every single member on Patreon, or we could do it on YouTube. I think on Patreon feels more special.
Yeah, so that's our next step this weekend, is kind of jamming on that concept and seeing what we can turn up together.
Yeah, that would be cool. Just let me know how you guys want to run it. I'm down. I'll do anything I can to make it happen. So I think that would really help the team as well with, and then maybe host like a Q&A after or something like that would be cool. I think creating events where, you know, community members do like a Q&A. I think that would be cool. Sometimes on live stream we can do it. Sometimes in the Discord. I think that would be cool. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we hope that people will be, you know, genuine and come in and offer advice and help everybody grow, because, you know, teaching is learning, and then whenever you come in with great questions, I mean, everybody in the room can really, and you know, our hope is that I think what your point of the teams is to make the entire community come together. And I'm already watching it on the side panel here. It seems like there's just a new energy you've created, and we just want to stoke that fire with you.
Yeah, it's so cool what we're doing, and one of my goals with teams. So I've had 15 teams I've interviewed now, so I don't remember who I've told what to. So I'll just kind of go over this as a one-time spiel. Really, the point, one of, you know, you guys have probably heard this or maybe not, but anyways, 6 months ago or 7 or 8 months ago, like I get so many sponsor offers, it's stupid, and I never do them because I just don't have time. I won't get into a long story about how I don't have time. No, everyone knows I don't have time. But then I was like, can't I like take some of the sponsorship money? Because sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's like, hey, we'll give you $20,000 to trade with. All you have to do is mention our name in a video and do a review on it. And I'm like, no, I don't do that. I don't care. I don't want to. And like a long time ago, I was like, hey, like I have so many people who could use that money, but I don't want to do it myself. Isn't there some way I could give it to the community? I was like, no, I can't, because it's favoritism. And then, you know, people, sponsors aren't, they're going to be like, well, Cotton, we asked you because it's you. We don't want, you know, your friend to do it. Like, oh, I've got a friend who can do it. You know, like, they're not, sponsors don't care. They're like, oh, we want you. You have the viewership. You have this. Like, so then over time with Naya, we decided, like, why don't we try to create a bridge connection between the different funds? Because sometimes I get like funds with 6 offer approaches, say like, oh, you want 250K to trade with? Do you want, you know, amount X, fill in the blank. And it's much higher than 6 figures sometimes. And so I wanted to create a bridge where I could create teams and events and kind of community stuff where I could say, like, I've got good traders. What about, instead of me doing a video review, we do a whole week-long event. You give my teams money to trade with you, let them keep the profits. We'll do a whole event on it, and we'll have a prize pool, and you'll get like a full week-long exposure. We'll do events, and that can help me help my community members either start careers or kickstart funds for themselves of some type, or even maybe get contracts signed with funds where you get a larger amount of money and can keep a certain amount of profits. And really that's where kind of the beginning and the ethos of teams began, like me being able to create a bridge for people in my community and say, like, okay, we can create different opportunities. People are still learning. There are like a lot of monies behind sponsorships and behind closed doors, and a lot of like just shitty smoke and mirror stuff that goes on out there, and exchanges want to do these things where they're doing video reviews, but like, screw a video review. Let's make a handful of teams, make it hyper competitive, and then convince sponsors to sponsor our events and have the teams, like, this is a kickstart for careers for some people. Like, what happens if a team ends up making like $100 grand? That's like a kickstart to a life, right? Like, that's empower the community, you know, because I don't have the time to do it. God, I don't even have the time to release all the content I want to release. Never mind sponsorships and contracts, but then to create a bridge between two worlds, it's a big bridge to create. But if you can do it, it's through teams, and it's through creating these like badass events and creating camaraderies and rivalries and energy, right? Because it's not being done yet. So that's like where team starts, and where, you know, where it's important to really excel, because that's kind of like where it's going to go.
Yeah, man, we're super excited. We're also very stoked that you called us the community team, because that is really what we want to be, man. Like,
Yep.
We're here for the competition. We'll show up for that, but like our main goal is to learn how to trade and to learn how to set people free, learn how to set ourselves free and help other people do the same, you know?
Absolutely.
So we share your passion in that regard.
Absolutely. You guys are 100% the community team. Is just like a core group of guys who are always in the community, always helping, like for the people. That's like this team 101. Absolutely.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Nice, son.
Cheers, and see you in the Discord.
Good to see you back streaming
See you
again.
later.
Yeah, man. Cheers.
Appreciate it, man. Cool.
Hello?
Hey, man. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? I'm just watching the charts right now.
Welcome to Team Kill Squad. This is my secret team that I've been working on. Most people are sleeping right now, but yeah, I thought I'd jump in here and just say, what's up, Confused? What's going on? Confused? God, I always butcher your name. And yeah, just say, hey, introduce kind of the secret team I've been working on. This is the first shout for the secret team. Nobody knew about this, and I waited, and I'm, you know, very happy that most of the people didn't get picked up who I wanted to get picked up. There was a couple that did. And yeah, we still have room for one more. So unfortunately, the other people who I wanted got picked up by teams. They don't even know who they are. I haven't told them. I am not going to tell them. It's just that will stay a secret and die a secret. So yeah, we got Confused, 4acre, Joe Mixer, Ty High, and WD representing Team Mafia. So this is going to be a pretty. Team captain is Confused, and I didn't go through the team captain of the last team. We'll do that next time. Yeah, we got a team and a half here. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Joe was in here earlier, just a few minutes ago. But yeah, very excited.
Yep.
It definitely brings a lot of energy to it. I'll tell you that. Working with yeah, you know, working with teams, working with people, and analyzing together it's huge. So I'm very excited. I've got a lot of stuff that I'm gonna work on today. So like this team is newly formed. We've had the least amount of time for prep work. So how are you finding it, Confused? Because Confused is not in the mentorship program. 4acre, Joe, Ty, and WDR. So we've got kind of, and the interesting thing is actually Confused is the team captain. So I have put him as the team captain of this team, and in a sense with the least amount of experience, but I think with just the right kind of mixture to make this team work and fire off like crazy. So interestingly enough, you're with people who are like kind of market snipers. Like yeah. That's interesting. It is. It's exciting too. You know, I want to because I really like seeing other people's perspectives on charts, because I feel like everyone sees something different. You know.
Yep.
There's always you know, little levels that I would miss, or just any little thing. So having multiple people, especially mentorship members, working together and seeing that it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I have some hopes for this team. Let me tell you something. I can, yeah, this is a good team. This is a good team.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, and it's you know, we were establishing schedules and things like that, and it's great. We have some really good ideas. So I've been my mind was running all night. I didn't even really sleep because I was just thinking of all the stuff that we could do.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also Confused, I think you were maybe still kind of up in the air with it, talking about streaming as well, doing some stream stuff as well. So we can start building out teams with multiple streams and different angles and viewpoints and things like that. Tell us your thoughts about that.
Yeah, so I think definitely streaming. We were actually talking earlier about a YouTube channel.
Cool.
Yeah, we have I think pushing out content and giving different perspective of like how we work together and
Yeah.
are analyzing is really important, and to give people a taste of teams for people that are not in teams or were thinking about it, so they can actually see what it's like to work
I
together
love
and
it.
how well it works. So
I love it.
yeah.
Do you have like one person who's going to be doing all that kind of back end media work? I'm thinking it's you, right?
So I was talking today. I'm going to set up accounts
Yeah.
for everything. I have to make them. Personally, I'm not too great of an editor. I'm not sure if anyone else in the team is good at that, but we'll figure that out as we go. I don't think it'll be anything too extreme. So if we're doing multiple platforms like TikTok, YouTube, our plan is to have a manager for each of those, so that we can just constantly push stuff out.
Yeah.
At just a crazy, also with different, because we're different time zones, like complete opposites. It allows us to have this 24/7 efficiency.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a great thing. It's hard to catch us all on at the same time. Like, I think we were talking earlier, we have like a 1 hour window where we're all together and talking.
Yep.
But because we're able to, I mean, for charting and things like that, it only takes us like 30 minutes really, if that. So it's, we're able to update each other really quickly. And I think once we get into the rhythm and the system of things, it's going to be be a weapon is what it's going to be.
I think that's cool. Because Ty and 4acre are on almost opposite ends. I believe there's about I want to say 11-hour difference if I'm counting properly. I think there's like an 11-hour difference. But then it changes a little bit because you guys are spread across the US as well. So you've got East Coast, West Coast, Central, and then you've got Australia, and I believe Thai is in Korea. I believe so. Yeah, so you've got like this kind of 24-hour clock that you guys are creating. Interesting. I like that. Nobody's done that yet. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. We were, I was thinking that would be hard to get that to work, but actually it's perfect. It really is. It's perfect.
I think if you get it worked out, I can see this beautiful cohesion where you kind of always have everything charted. And then it's just a matter of like you're working with one chart and catching each other up. So I can kind of help you understand how to make one chart accessible for everybody. There's kind of a neat way you can do that where you just use like a web browser link. So.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, you can do that. Like it's really neat. And then in terms of media and editing, I'll help where I can. Like I have no time, but like to scratch out some time, and even if it's to teach you or whoever wants to take that role on the team, like working with After Effects or maybe even a more user-friendly software, I've done it all. So that's pretty easy. And then you can get plugins for a lot of the things. Like there's a great one called Mr. Horse for transitions and stuff like that. So when you see scene transitions, and then you're just clicking a few buttons, like it could be a very simple, fast, efficient thing where it's just like 20, they call it the box. You go to the box or the can. Post-production, the movie's in the can or the movie's in the box, right? Like it's like post-production, like 20 minutes a day, bang, you're done. Crank those suckers out. So I can help there, at least teach you or whoever's doing it if they don't already know. I have a feeling some people in this group do know how. Like I want to say that like Joe knows how, but probably can't. 4acre, I think as well has editing experience, but again, time zones. So we'll figure that out afterwards, but we'll get you up and running no matter who ends up doing it. But no, that's so cool. So we can expect to see like a different perspective, live streams, content. Right. Interesting. I love it.
That's what I want. I want everyone's like perspective, and I want to, and to be able to catch, because the amount of trades you miss when you sleep it's crazy.
Yep.
Like I can't. Yeah, the amount of times I miss crazy moves, man. So having a team to be able to catch them all, it's like it's really powerful.
Yeah. Wow. Sounds like you guys have really been hard at work.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I like it because I have a lot of time on my hands. So while I wait for trades and stuff, I work on this, and it gives me something to do, which I really like.
Yep. Yeah. Very cool. Love it. And then we can expect streams too, which is awesome. So.
Yep.
Good stuff, man. Okay, I'm jumping out of here.
All right.
Cheers, man. Enjoy it.
See ya.
Team TA Mafia. See, my guys, they're gonna have their stuff together like very, very clean. I don't know. Originals looks good. Mafia looks good. Arcane, we don't even need to talk about Team Arcane. They're posting like 500% profits in 2 days. So they're going to be next week. We interview them. We're going to go like a quick interview with them. And we got Enigma, and then I got team meetings scheduled all weekend. Right now we're running with a total of 6 teams. 6 teams is all we have room for right now, because it's just a kind of a new thing I'm starting and trying. It's going to take a lot of focus and energy, and 6 teams to start. And there's been 18 or 19, I can't, we lost count, but 18 or 19 teams now that are competing for those spots. And there's 2 spots left and tons of interviews. If teams are still open, so you can still create a team. It's just there's lots of interviews set up. You get on it quick. Like, you got no time left at all. Do that by joining the Discord, which you get access to via the Patreon. And the Patreon is $45 a month for that. For people who are asking, people are saying $25 a month. That's no longer available, that tier. That was an old legacy tier. Not coming back. So $45 is the route there. Okay, let me catch up on chat a little bit here. Fun first day. Fun first day. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on. I haven't decided yet, but yeah. Has to be Crystal. You guys are so certain it's Crystal. I don't think anybody would have expected me to snake up Confused. I've had my eye on him for a long time. I've always expected great things out of him. Loving this. Yeah, I think it's going to be really cool to do this. From the daily. Yeah, we got that daily here. You almost went to that daily. Yeah. In the future, there are going to be more opportunities, Shane. Yes. Joe is a crazy good teacher. Yeah. He's in the mentorship program, and he's a crazy good teacher. He's a great listener. He learns ultra fast. Like Joe and I are a lot alike in terms of how our minds work. Joe is he's very smart. He's very smart. Him and I are a lot alike each other, I think, in ways that you wouldn't expect. There is a Discord link. You just have to join Patreon to access it. Teams sound good. Yeah, I'm really excited for teams. Higher level traders? No, not necessarily. No. Anybody can join teams. It's more about having your stuff together and committing to the platform than anything. So we've got Team Enigma still that we're going to be talking to next week, as well as not only Team Enigma, but we also have Team Arcane. And those teams are going to... Team Arcane is just like they're I'm reserving all opinions. Like, I just, like, these guys are all stacked out of their mind. This is like crazy. How many people are going to be doing so well with this? We're gonna see. We're gonna have tournaments and stuff coming soon. So yeah, we're gonna see. ICT, nothing, man. I don't know. I don't really look at other traders too much. I don't really. Yeah. The day BFE2 will be released. No joke. Yeah. There's definitely a mix of everybody, Usurpator. There's a mix of both people who are really experienced and people who don't have as much experience. What are the most common or biggest mistakes you see traders make? Tunnel vision. Tunnel vision, if I had to say one thing. And tunnel vision is a pretty broad stroke. Tunnel vision can mean everything from mental analysis to, technical analysis, procedural. How does a trader assess risk? What's going on in their personal life? Are they getting enough sleep? Just a short-sighted vision, a narrow mind, short-sighted vision. Just like any career in life, it's what is the Hilter point for all careers. You could be a doctor and be a toxic human being with low angle takes and a brain dead attitude, and you're never going to be that good of a doctor. You know what I mean? Like, if you even make it, as a doctor. And then when you do, if you have like brain dead low angle takes, then it's like any career, right? Like your mind and willingness to open and accept is like the filtering point for all careers. I think this is like you're trying to do like angle takes, and it's not really like pretty obvious. I got into a whole thing about the 12 hours and mentorship. I just simple answer, I don't use 12 hours. I think if you expect to know somebody else's financial information, you have like a very brain dead opinion. Like asking anybody their financial information, like you already know that's a brain dead question. Like, why do you need my confirmation? Like, I don't know. If you already know, you're being stupid. Like, why even ask? Like, it's just kind of trying to like angle someone into like a ha gotcha moment, but then it's just like, dude, don't be dumb. Please. For the sake of others around you. I think it's more of a group that will push all of our members in the community better together. Enigma is very good. Enigma is very good. I think tunnel vision is good when focusing on a specific topic. Now you're not talking about tunnel vision though. Now you're talking about targeted versus heuristic training. And now you're talking about the difference between the mind working at a heuristic layer versus targeted. Low angle merch, by the way. Yeah. Tunnel vision I wouldn't confuse with targeted training. Targeted training is a cognitive awareness. It's something that we are doing actively by saying, okay, if we're doing targeted training, we are actively trying to accomplish something very specific. As to where I would say tunnel vision is not having the vision. And this is usually what you see with people who have fear of failure, is a lack of vision. I would say tunnel vision is typically a lack of vision. Now, these are two different things. Tunnel vision is not to be confused with lack of vision. Lack of vision is the inability to see creative outcomes, which boxes people into a fear of failure. So I think when you're talking about, tunnel vision, not to be confused with targeted versus heuristic training, because targeted training is very helpful when you're trying to achieve a very specific result. This is where heuristic is what we use when we develop skill sets. So that's there's another big conversation to be had there, but that's why I do the mental analysis stuff, because there's so many angles in where people fail as traders. I would say tunnel vision is the one. Like you get tunnel vision ends up being like a big grouping of things, typically the people who are jumping from topic to topic and can't absorb material and have all these different opinions, and it's very tunnel vision thinking. Like it's very much like this ends up, it's the same person who ends up being toxic in life. It's the same person who ends up talking shit about their friends. It's the same person. Like this is tunnel vision as a whole, because it's a certain way that people think, right? So I think that's like, I think it's a lot of the same characteristics, and then they group around other people who are just like them. They end up grouping around other toxic people who have very much a tunnel vision take in life. And like, so I've worked with some people who I've told them this, and I said, like, you have kind of a toxic attitude. Like, do you find yourself, you're around a lot of negative people? And they're like, actually, you know what? I am around a lot of negative people. So it's interesting, because then there's some people who have tunnel vision and kind of this toxic take, but then they realize it. So then that's the person that can be fixed. And then there's other people who have like this kind of toxic mentality or toxic way about them, where they are, hyper seeking other toxic people, and they get along with those people because they see a lot of themselves in those people. So they're seeing all the wrong qualities that are destroying them. And then they see that in other people because that's what they understand and they know about it. Like, it's a very prehistoric way of thinking, right? Like, it's very, very much like caveman brain in a way. So yeah, I think targeted, you talk about targeted, heuristic, tunnel vision. I think these are all three very, while they may feel akin, they are three very separated things. Yeah, I think tunnel vision is a big problem with traders. I think it's a huge problem with traders. And then it ends up becoming overflow into their personal life, where they're surrounded by, other people who are kind of just like them. But then they end up being attracted to those people's like flies to a bug light, right? Because they recognize those qualities in people, which are bad qualities, and they understand them, right? So they fly to them like bugs in a zapper, bugs in a light, right? And it's just like a bunch of fried brains at the end of the day who all swamp together. Like that's, unfortunately, that's how, but again, there are people who do have that and can say like, you know, oh, that's kind of me. I never realized that. But then they realize that those are the qualities they like about other people because it's what they understand in themselves. So yeah, I mean, there's a whole thing behind it, right? Hey, your advice to fix your sleep schedule for trading was huge for me. Botched sleeping schedule was my largest obstacle at first. Yeah, I think sleep is huge, right? Like it just health in general. I think that's another point, like tunnel vision, which also, when you say tunnel vision, it's about having an open mind to realize that day trading is a lifestyle and not just this set of skills we learn. And, you know, you have to be able to conquer the mental side of it. You have to be able to conquer the physical side of it. And you have to be able to conquer, and we're not talking about, you know, lifting weights. We're talking about healthy habits and clean energy, clean minds, the ability to think, right? Like those are critical for success in day trading, not just like, let's take levels. Again, I just go back to the doctor example. Like shitty doctors are usually the ones who are pieces of garbage in real life, right? Like that's just the way it is. Not just doctors, any career, any profession. It's again the Hilter point for all professions and careers. You either get boxed into this loser mode and you're constantly a loser, or you know you're a better human being. It's just, I don't think there's any news or secrets there. I think that's just kind of common sense. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Yep, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Do I want to look at stocks today? Oh, IRTC. I think IRTC was pretty decent. Oh yeah, never mind. IRTC, I talked about it back in here. Yeah, IRTC was crazy. Never mind, I don't want to look at IRTC. What about Clove? So Clove lost its move. I never took a trade on Clove. I was watching Clove, but yeah, it ended up losing its move. I never ended up doing any follow-up on it. ALUP. I think I never did any charting on ALUP. I was just watching it, if I remember correctly. Oh my god, look at... Not a single break in distribution. Oh my god, that's disgusting. That's a lot of blue candles. Opinion on trading in the zone? I think it's okay. I think it was like a really good book to Acer hit target perfectly. I think Trading in the Zone was like a really good book to open day traders' minds to mental analysis as a field inside of day trading. And I think it was, you know, a lot of really good foundational pieces for the way that we think of mental analysis in day trading now. You know, I don't think you're gonna pick up Trading in the Zone as an experienced trader in today's world. You have to realize when Trading in the Zone was written, we didn't have the same kind of resources around mental analysis that we do now. We didn't understand the mind the same. There's been like massive breakthroughs in the past, say, 12 years in the field of mental analysis. So when Trading in the Zone and Mark Douglas, what he thought of mental analysis was really the groundbreaking piece, and really what opened the idea that there is a mental game in day trading, kind of this, you know, ugly truth that people never wanted to realize or admit. Like imagine day traders back in the early 2000s and the 90s, and you know they're all in suits on Wall Street and everybody's just trading and doing coke and whatever, however it ends up looking like. I don't know exactly, but you know, however it ends up looking like. And then along comes a guy that's like, oh, you've got to take care of your mind. Like everybody just laughs at that guy, right? So like in Mark Douglas, in respect to when he was, you know, analyzing the markets, and he's a bit older, different generational, you know, split there. You know, in one regard, a masterpiece, because he broke the doors wide open for mental analysis and day trading to say, hey, we have to take care of our minds. But then as a modern trader, I don't think picking up, you know, Trading in the Zone is really going to teach you that much. But the time that was published, between now, we have really redefined what we know as how the mind thinks. So it's not possible for you to pick up Trading in the Zone and get this big breakthrough. Whenever I see people talk about Trading in the Zone, and they're like, oh my God, it's the craziest thing. It just changed my trading life. There's something wrong there. And I see it in my Discord, and I see it in everywhere. Where I'm not saying Trading in the Zone is a bad book. It is very much a historical piece of day trading and will go down in history as one of the most important mental analysis resources. It is just not a current thing, or will it ever be current again, where it can help us become better day traders. But it broke the grounds and is a historical piece of what we needed in day trading. Mark Douglas took a big chance releasing that book, and it paid off because he opened the door for stuff like what I do and other people's in a modern day. Without Mark Douglas, day trading would be just still this weird, you know. PHIO. I think it's a good book for different reasons than people realize. Well, this thing lost a few cents on its price, huh? What am I looking at? What do you want me to look at? It's probably going to top out at like 2.2. Maybe lower. I mean, it's already hit its weekly, right? So maybe that was its top out right there. It's hitting its weekly right now. Beyond that range, you're up in here, up at $4, but there's still a monthly range. So it can go, you know, a break level and then even try to reverse this maybe off the break. Maybe. I think you'd be more like here, actually. Reverse. I have a better understanding of how the market's working out because of thanks, lol. Yeah, man. Streams like this give motivation when we are tackling courses. Thanks, you're welcome. It's a great book. I agree, it's a great book. Red and green trading is out of my mind at the start of my journey before I had too much really bad trading habits. That's really good. That's a really good way to do it. Opinion on tape reading? Are we talking about like audiobooks? Is that what you mean by tape reading? What would you recommend now? Well, I do a lot of work in mental analysis. What made you acknowledge MA? I grew up in a family of psychologists. I've always been in that field. Psychologist and psychiatrist. My family was supposed to be a psychologist, or actually no, I was supposed to be a psychiatrist, but chose my own path. HDFC Bank. You know what? Bank stock. What about it? Same, you agree? Yeah. So I grew up in a family where I was supposed to be a psychiatrist. Yep, ended up doing my own thing. But, you know, all my life was in that kind of field. What are we looking at on this thing? Nope, I don't use indicators, man. Thanks for the offer though, Brandon. Having an indicator tell you hold levels wouldn't really do too much. It's more about the decisions made on data points. Hold levels are just one of many data points. There's a lot of people who have tried to make my science into an indicator. It ends up working, but then they, you know, come time to make money, they make the wrong decisions, which is a huge part of trading. Sister's psychiatrist, mom's a PhD in psychology. Yep. No, I appreciate the offer, Brandon. I just don't. I don't use indicators. I don't really know what to say about HFDC. Is there something specific you're wanting to know? I mean, just very straightforward. Create a trend, and it's a legacy trend, global trend, local trend broke. Right? Local trend would have broken right. Local trend broke, and it would have pulled back to its hold level. The backside right here. This breaks, pulls back to here, and it's has to create some kind of time frame trend, right? Couldn't have been there, but it can be here. Can't be there, can it? It's a really small time frame, so this is pretty fragile on the top. I'll say that. I'll spoil this trade and say it's a very fragile top. So if it comes up top again, it's not going to take much to break it. Your choose, guys. Oh yeah, for sure. I think you need to check the vibe in Discord to see if teams are right for you. Every team is going to be different with different expectations and experiences. Patriot 1. How did Patriot 1 do, by the way? Patriot 1 actually did decent. Not bad. All the way down to 30 cents. Up to 90. Okay. Peloton crushed. Yep. Origin level it's attacking right now. If this origin level holds through trend from here, this thing is going to explode. It's like almost the same chart as GME. Like if this thing can hold for the rest of the year, this thing's going to rip out of its mind. Like if it holds this origin and starts accumulating, holy crap, Peloton's going to just pop the hell off. It'll be like the next GME. It's like the same chart as GME. Create an origin level at the base of your move, and then like hold that origin level through the trend that created to bring you down to that origin. This thing is going to explode. Like still far away. Like you got lots of time, but if this thing holds, like, oh my God. When I learn a topic and when I go to a new topic, this topic will go out of my mind. How can I make this situation? Can I take this situation? I'm not sure. I think you're trying to well, I know, but I think you would be trying to do a split between target and heuristic training, and understanding that if you are trying to learn something, are you struggling in one specific area, or are you misunderstanding all the concepts? If you're struggling in one specific area, you do very much targeted training and do a review every single day to amplify how a targeted training scenario would benefit you. Not if you're struggling learning something as a whole, then it's heuristic training where you're doing a lot of little work across many fields and then trying to get better as a whole over time. The amount of people you see, thank you for getting me off indicators, the amount of people you see with RSI is baffling. Imagine how many people I see with RSI. You want to talk about how many? Just imagine, dude. I feel you, man. I'm with you on that. True North Sun. I'm like, let's hold hands through the sunset, because honestly, that is like the take right there. So practicing each video would be targeted training. That would mean you're struggling understanding one specific concept. So that will work by doing multiple takes on it if it's a targeted problem. What won't work is if that you're heuristically not understanding the concepts as a whole, and then then you need to study an entire course and then go back to that entire course and study it again, and swap between very dynamic learning and mental analysis, swap back to technical, swap back to mentals, mix in some procedurals, mix in blueprint with butterfly, with MA, with future trading. Not butterfly, actually, blueprint with MA and FOT. I mean, mentorship is something people can take at any time. Lucky one, I would say that you have to just join it when it makes sense for you, when it makes the right decision to, you're ready to advance at that level, because mentorship is very tough, but we go through a ton of review material. Like if you were to join mentorship, you would have access to the previous mentorship lessons. So you would be not starting in the middle of a cycle. You would be going through at the point where we first started, and then you'd have to play catch up. So it just means you have more work to do. So if you're kind of at that point where you're saying like, I really want to take this serious, I'm ready. I'm ready to work like countlessly 6-7 hours a day at this stuff, then even more just studying and then also putting it into practice. That's when you would join, because I don't think there's a certain point you get to in the course. I think there's more of a readiness individually. Yeah, let's go take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still just holding here. That's it for the stream today, everybody. Thank you so much for coming by. I will be back on Monday. So thanks to everybody for being here today. That's it for the stream for today. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat lunch. Today was the test day. Viewership was fantastic. Engagement was off the charts. Really appreciate everybody who came through. Really, really awesome first day back. And I'm going to be back Monday streaming. It's going to probably turn into a full-time thing, me streaming again. So happy to be here. Happy to see all my awesome contiers. And yeah, it was a great first day. Next week, we're going to go into more team stuff. And, I won't spoil next week, but yeah, next week's going to be a lot of fun, and time to eat lunch. Great day one test stream. Also, thanks for everybody who donated and became a super member today. Thank you so much. I think that's what they call them on YouTube, super member. Looks like YouTube probably is going to be the platform going forward. As much as I love Twitch, viewership was pretty popped off today. It was pretty good. You know, the peak was over 200 for my return day is pretty good. So it'll only go from there. So really, really thankful for everybody who joined, donated, did any type of support. Really, really helps me justify to stream long term. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing people, new members in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord yet, go ahead and join. It's done through Patreon. Just simply put !Patreon or Discord in the chat. Yes, see what it is. And Monday will be the next stream, Monday morning. Likely around the same time, 9 or 10 a.m. I'll update people over the weekend. Socials are on the screen if you want to keep updated. But of course, Discord is the number one way.